like that?
Yo, that's so sick.
Yeah!
Well done.
Thank you! Thank you.
It's all downhill from here.
What
That
are
was
you
amazing.
saying? What do you
That was
mean?
amazing. Wow, that was the best intro I have ever seen.
You're too kind. What do you mean
Wow.
it's all downhill from here? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I showed up, so I'll try to salvage it, but I want to say really quickly, thank you so much for having me here. It is truly a pleasure, and to everybody watching, I'm so sorry in advance.
No, thank you for coming. Jesus Christ. Stop! You're just as bad as me, and my chat always gets on my ass.
I know. It's a real problem we've got.
It's true. I have very low self-esteem, so my chat's like, Mouse, stop saying bad stuff. Stop saying those things about yourself. You stop saying those things about yourself right now.
Okay. No more bad stuff about us. We're only gonna do great.
Only great things today. Can you introduce yourself?
That's right.
Can you introduce yourself for those
Sure.
that don't know?
Sure. Hi, my name is Peter. I have been in Japan for about 11 years. I am 39 years old, which is about 7,000 years younger than Ironmouse. But in my life, I taught English, I've done theater, and now I'm a full-time Twitch streamer where I play games. And sometimes I go out with my friends and do some IRL, but I always pay in full.
Yeah!
That's what I do.
We pay in full!
That's it. It's a pretty basic life.
Oh,
That's
somebody's like,
it.
he was a teacher?
I tricked the Japanese education system for letting me be a teacher for 10 years. It was a long, long con, but I got through it.
You must have been the most funnest teacher ever.
Well, yeah, I don't know much, so we had a lot of fun, and I gave everyone A's. So yeah, it was a good time.
Oh my god, that's the best type of teacher, the one that gives everybody A's.
That's the one. And then but it was different. I taught all the way from like 0 years old all the way to adult, but most of my time was at high school English teaching, which was a trip.
That's the rough age. The rough time.
It is, but you know what? It was the most fun age, because at least by then their English had developed enough where you could have more than like, what's your favorite color, or how are you? So you had some chances to really have some back and forth, which was awesome.
I see. Well, that sounds interesting. Oh man, I was a shitty high school student, so I don't think I would have been a good student at all. That was bad.
That's okay. Me too. I was a world-class shitty high school student. But that's okay. That's the past. We're now way in the future. So
we're looking to the future, towards tomorrow.
That's right. And again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me be here. I literally cannot wait to see what we get up to.
Well, it's like I told you. I tell people I just made this show because I like to talk to people that I find interesting, and we just talk about whatever we want to talk about, and there's no structure, so. To anybody.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's fire it up. Let's talk shit. Let's do anything we want. We got it. It's our turn.
I have to say, when I first found out about you before the Van Gang stuff, I think the first time I ever watched one of your streams was because Connor rated you, and you were so entertaining and so funny, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is so funny. And then
it was it's always humbling when my channel, when Connor first rated me, and I'm very proud of this, but it had somewhere around 100 to 120 people, and then suddenly 10,000 people are spamming all these things, and you're like, it's sink or swim. And it is a thrilling and humbling experience. But I remember that very clearly the couple of times. And big shout to Connor for looking out for the little guys. I appreciate that. I owe him. I owe Chris. And I owe you now as well. So thank you.
What are you saying? You don't owe me anything.
Hey.
What are you saying?
All right. Well then, I am old, so I gotta put on my blue light glasses because it's still in the morning. I have to do about an hour of this.
Oh gosh.
The,
You're
the
not old.
body starts shutting down.
No.
It's true.
What is
It's what I've got two monitors on, and there's all these emotes flying in on my right. I have to turn them. I have to wear my blue light glasses.
Yeah, but you have your
That's
own
what
emotes
old
because
men have to do.
you're a great streamer. You're amazing. You're entertaining. One of my favorite stream that you ever did was your Inscription stream because I love that game. And I love watching people play that game. And I was so entertained watching you play Inscription. It was so funny.
That that is a great game. You've played it, right?
Yes. What a
I have
crazy
to
ride.
ask. It is. It's absolutely amazing. But and I love it. It's a masterpiece. But did you enjoy Act 3?
Not as much as I enjoyed the first act.
Yeah, I think that's the overwhelming sentiment. Still a great game, still awesome, but Act 1 is so good.
It was really good.
So good.
I liked 3 better than 2, but I definitely liked the first act was just the best. It was really good. The third one was just very frustrating.
Yeah, and I liked the second act because I was like, hey, this is like when I was in high school. Let's go. Yeah. But I can understand everyone else being like, what's this old shit?
Yeah, it kind of like felt like
But-
they were so like they developed the game. Like the first part was so well done. It was just like, yeah, this is great. We have a great idea. But then it kind of like it. I'm not saying it fell apart, but it was just I don't know. It wasn't as good as the first act.
We are aligned, which means this show will go well. 1 for 1, we agree.
But it
That's
was fun.
great.
It was fun watching you play. You were so fucking funny. Jesus Christ. Also, Connor behind the scenes, he was like, "What is he doing? What is he doing? Why is he putting down that card? Why didn't he put down the other card?"
Well,
and I'm like, Connor, calm
Yeah,
down."
he messaged me and he was like,
Pete, don't fuck it up. That's the wrong card. Don't you know Ouroboros is the best?
I was like, dude, I was like, listen, I've played this game for 2 hours. I don't know what the best cards are. And he was like,
Damn it, Pete. You're disappointing your Welsh background.
okay. I'm sorry. So it was brutal.
Wow, you do an impersonation of him very well. That was spot on.
Thanks. He has the deepest voice I've ever heard. And I thought he was like faking it somehow. I really did. But then when I met him in person, it was like the ground was quaking. And I was like, good God, what is going on? It's real. It's pretty awesome.
What you can't really fake stuff like that. I've learned. It's just like when people think that I'm faking my voice and they're like, "Oh, that can't be your voice. That can't be your real voice." And it's just like, it is.
Well, the thing is there's for the length in which you guys talk, you're right. There's no way that you could put on that show for days, weeks, and years.
Yeah.
But I still was surprised by the deepness.
Yeah.
And then, interesting man.
He's an interesting man. That is true. Very true. But you're more interesting right now.
You're damn right I am. I've got years of experience on that young gun.
Oh,
He's got nothing on me.
Yeah, but he's like old inside though.
He is older than me internally. It's astonishing. I can't believe it.
He is an
So,
old man. It's very true.
Yeah. But I only met him. It was almost 1 year ago. Just a few days, like last month was our 1 year of like hanging out, knowing each other. And what a wild year that's been. So very, very fulfilling.
How did you meet Chris and Connor?
Oh,
If I may
Chris,
ask.
I had met years ago. I was all my stories start when I'm drunk. I don't know if that's a good thing. So I was at a Boninkai, which is an end of year party in Japan where your company gets together. Usually you rent out an entire kind of hotel, like
Oh.
I don't know what those rooms are called. Those big amphitheater kind of rooms, yeah, halls. And it's a race to the bottom. So it's 2.5 hours of all you can drink alcohol, and you walk around and you're clinking glasses with coworkers. And in Japan, it's quite polite to pour a glass to the top of anyone who you respect or you worked with. Obviously, not many people came to me, so I had to fill my own quite a bit. That's fine. But I got totally twisted. And then it was like 8:30 p.m. and I was like, man, this is I still want to go have some fun. So I went to this Mario bar in Shinjuku where I did take, actually, I've taken Chris and Rob CD and some other people there, but never Connor. We got there. I'm by myself, and I know the bartender. I'd been going there for years. And in walks this affable looking British dude. And he's got a girl on each arm, looking like he's had the best day of his life. And I said something to the effect of, "How should next to me?" And he was like, "Oh dear God, who are you?" And I was like, "Hey, my name is Peter. I don't know who he is. I've never seen Chris's channel at this point. I had been living in Japan for several years, so I wasn't watching a lot of YouTube." And I said, "Why don't you come sit next to me?" And he goes, "Fine, but the women stay far away." And I was like, "That's fine." And I was like, I want to make you like a quiz, because I was in teacher drink mode. And I was like, "I'll make you a quiz about England and history." And he was like, "Fine, but tell me the truth. Are you one of my many fans?" I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I don't know who you are. I have no idea." And he goes, "Oh, come on. Abroad in Japan, YouTube." And then he handed me this business card. And I still have this business card. And it's this really thick in color, super expensive. And it says, Chris Broad, 250,000 subscribers. Ooh.
Ooh.
Actually, back then, that was really impressive. And
Of course.
it was. And I was like, "Look, I'm so sorry. I'm just a regular dude, but I'm on Japanese TV because I was working for a TV show at the time." And he was like, "Oh, is that right? What kind of show is that?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it." And we ended up doing the quiz. We ended up sharing stories, and the four of us got along very well. And at the end of the day, I think it was almost better that I didn't know who he was, because he dropped his guard just a little bit. And it was really fun, and we had a very genuine experience. And he saw me at my worst already. So we became buddies for years. And then last October, there was a British pub in Yokohama, which is south of Tokyo. And Chris said, "Hey, I'm going to bring my mate Connor. He wants to find some bangers and mash." And I said, "I know just the place. It's the best bangers and mash in all of Japan." And we went there. We had a great time. And that's when our friendship had started, the three of us. And then after that, Van Gang and all kinds of IRL stuff.
Wow!
There you have it.
What the fuck is bangers and mash?
Bangers and mash. I didn't know either. I thought he was looking for something illicit. It is actually sausages and mashed potatoes.
Ugh, what the fuck?
I guess, and also green peas. I heard it's very good, but I'm
Peas?
hesitant to try it.
Oh, yuck. I don't like peas.
Well, honestly, I'm being 100. I like British food. I'm one of the few people in the world who will defend it, but it does slightly look like someone just vomited on a plate, and they love it though. They say it's very good.
What is British food anyway?
It's all deep fried, horrifically unhealthy, delicious pub food, and I think that's awesome. I think that's the way to enjoy food. So I love it. I love it.
Well, see, because I'm Puerto Rican, so I don't know any of that type of food.
Well, I think you're doing good. I think that's the right way. I think that's healthier.
I mean, I wouldn't say that our food is healthier.
That's true, but at least it's more refined. It's not all just deep fried stuff. So there's that.
True. Well, I mean, kind of, but not really. Yeah.
That's true.
There's a lot of fried stuff in our cuisine as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to Puerto Rican bangers and mash at some point in the future.
What would even be considered Puerto Rican bangers and mash? Like, I don't even know. We have like stuff that's like we have like mofongo, that's like a mashed up plantain and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. So wait, if I just got to Puerto Rico, I'm off the plane. I haven't eaten in 18 hours. I'm starving. What's the one dish that you'd be like, this? You go here and you eat. You got to have this.
Oh my god, you have to have empanadillas and papas rellenas.
That's just the way you said it sounds good. Let's go.
Papa rellena is like, it's like a potato ball with meat inside.
That sounds so much better than a rice ball with tuna inside, if I'm being 100% honest. So
Ew, tuna.
that was just one of many I could have chosen. But look, it does sound good. It does sound delicious.
If you can, if I could tell you, if I could urge you to try one bread in your whole life, you need to eat Cuban bread. You have
Which
to
bread?
try it. Cuban bread.
Oh, Cuban bread. Okay.
I promise.
What makes Cuban bread so special that's different than like my regular
It's
breads?
the best bread that you could ever eat. It's made with lard.
Oh, you really sold it. Ow.
Listen.
Yeah, wow.
made
I'm
with
so
lard.
hungry.
It
The
has a
old
nice
lard bread.
crispy shell outside, and then once you break past the shell, it's nice and soft on the inside and chewy.
Is the outside, when you say break past the shell, is that part of like the challenge? Does it taste good still, or?
It tastes great. You can really
Oh.
taste the lard.
Yeah, okay. You know what? We don't need to keep saying the word lard with bread anymore.
I mean, it's what the bread is made of. It's fine. You look past it once you smell the bread and you see the bread, and you're like,
Well, I'm always down to try new foods, but now you've gotten me interested in Puerto Rican food. So now I have to, I'm no stranger to the dirt and the grime and the lard and the crust. So bring it on. I'm ready to break past it.
are you a foodie?
I am an idiot, is what I would describe that.
Me
But what I
too.
mean is like I love food and I'm willing to try anything, and I've always been pleasantly shocked when I go to different countries or I try different dishes, and I'm willing to 100% dive into local cuisine, especially if there's somebody from that place that would recommend it to tell me its origin and how it's prepared. I find that very interesting.
Oh yeah, I used to love watching. Listen, I'm not a well-traveled girl. Okay, I've been practically locked inside most of my life, so I don't really get out much. I used to watch Anthony Bourdain a lot, and that was like the only way I could see the world.
That's, it's interesting because before I came to Japan, I hadn't left my Midwestern roots much either. So I also watched Anthony Bourdain, and I watched a lot of cooking shows. I'm a bit older, so Iron Chef Japan was like my first foray into seeing all these cool new culinary dishes. So it's always fun to see what the world has come up with, like lard bread.
Yeah, like lard bread. I loved Anthony Bourdain. I had the biggest crush on him. I don't know. It's just something about sarcastic assholes.
Like Chris, but in a good way. I mean, but Chris is my friend, so we all know that. But like that's what makes him special, is that he's so unique.
Yeah. There's just something about sarcastic assholes that are just so great.
I agree.
Why is everybody saying like Connor and Chris? Stop this right now.
Well, I mean, I think they would be. That's a compliment to them. I feel like they would like that kind of acknowledgement. So
that's true.
no harm done.
That's true. Every time like I would talk to Connor and I'd be like, "Man, you're such an asshole." He's like, "Thank you."
But we say that, we joke about it, but there's no disguising the fact that they are both some of the most generous people that I've ever met in my entire life. So it's a balance thing. They can be dour assholes, but they can also be extraordinarily genuine and generous.
That is true, but you can't sell yourself short because you also are genuine and generous as well.
Oh, thanks.
You were very generous.
I'll take that. I'll take that compliment. Thank you so much.
I'm a little bit.
I know, really.
I'm sorry.
No, that's I appreciate that. That feels great. I've never heard that, so thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm strange.
So, but yeah, no, it's fun because as as a streamer, oftentimes Twitch chat likes to poke fun at us, right? In a good way. It's because we're all in this community together. So it's very rare that you get the nice compliment compared to the observations that they come up with.
Oh, but my chat's kind of nice, even though they bully me sometimes. But they're pretty nice.
Then damn it, what's going on with my chat? So
why? What does your chat say to you?
I think that any physical at all the mistake that I've had, or any sort of deformity, or any sort of anything, they are so rapid to point it out. My giant forehead, or my growing belly, or my ancient, creaking bones. It's anything they'll find. They'll hit me with it. It's
Is
kind of
that
nice.
is that why somebody in chat called you Rickety Pete?
Yeah, see, like that. What is that? Okay, sure. My bones pop when walking normal steps. Okay. Audibly, and also the tooth. Yes, everybody wants to pile on. There's no escaping it. But I think it's humbling because I never thought I was a supermodel, and I definitely don't think so now. So,
All right. You know what? You know what would fix all of your problems with your chat? I have the perfect solution.
let's hear it.
I think you should become a VTuber, and then they can never call you Rickety Pete or comment about your appearance or any of the sort ever again.
Actually, I did have on April Fools of last year. I did make my PTuber debut. It was, it was the. I think they bullied me even worse. I think they really got after me. Yeah, I have my own avatar. It's awesome. I couldn't figure out how to make it. My friend helped me make it, and I couldn't get the necktie right. So it's like it's like very tiny. It's like this big, and it's got a scarf that looks like a slab of bacon. But I really like him. But his arms don't move, and I can't fix them. Any of it's all wrong. And I realized I have such an immense respect for what you guys do, because it is so challenging to operate and still do all of that. I liked it, but PTuber Pete is coming back someday.
Whoa! You should get a redesign and get like a really. I could help you.
Oh, I'm in. I want to give it a go because I see Lord Athelstan, I see you, I see Onigidian. There's Reinho. There's so many awesome VTubers. I feel like, I could do once a week. Come on, guys. I could handle. Maybe not. Maybe we should just stick with right here.
Athel's been dabbling in the flesh tubing.
I know. I've been seeing that, and I was like, "What a stud! Look at this guy.
Bro,
He can go either way."
I don't know how you guys do it, man. I can't. I couldn't.
What do you mean? Look at it. Come on. What do you mean? Look at this.
No.
Look at this.
No, I can't.
Huh?
I can't. I'm Satan. I can't.
This is as good as it gets.
I don't know. You seem to be moving pretty well. I don't know what these people are talking about. You with rickety bones.
I think I gotta lay down. That's about as much.
No.
That's it. I gotta sit back down. I have tiny jeans. I have a big heart. That's what everything hurts now.
Tiny jeans. Oh.
So there you go. That's what it is.
Well, I think it's adventurous to be a flesh tuber, and I don't want that sort of adventure, so I'll stick to being a VTuber.
I understand. I respect it.
Oh God! Hold on one second.
It's coffee break. I'll be honest. While she's busy, this is the this may be on the top 3 experiences of my life where I've never been so nervous ever.
What? Why? Why are you nervous?
You're supposed to be gone. There's supposed to be direct to
Sorry,
to the void.
My mom popped her head in. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she could make it.
Listen, my mom popped her head in. She doesn't understand this new technology type thing still. She has to pop in to check on my little show.
Your little show. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
my
I mean,
little show.
anytime moms can support, and she probably took one look of, and then she escaped.
You're just as bad as me. I swear to God, every time.
I know. I'm just
myself
kidding.
From the ground up.
But it is exciting. It's like, I've always wanted to, since I studied acting when I was younger, you always dream of being on like a talk show where you're like, and our next guest is, and I'm like, do, 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 do. And this is like a dream come true. So how exciting.
So you studied to become an actor. What type of acting were you interested in?
Well, I studied to be an actor, so I'm a really good waiter and bartender. But
Oh God, stop.
but the reality was I cannot do classical theater. I cannot do musical theater. So it put me in a nice, well-rounded shape to be a contemporary theater actor. So any sort of modern drama, I feel pretty well versed in that regard. But that was my whole college and high school and post college life.
Did you ever want to do like movies or anything, or just theater?
No, I wanted to. I worked for a radio station as an on-air DJ for a year in Kansas City. I was fired, but then I did professional theater in Kansas City and a little bit, and I had the luxury of performing on the Kennedy Center stage in Washington D.C. at one point, and then I was in a very small extra in a movie in Japan called Vancouver no Asahi, a baseball movie. So I played a drunk guy at a bar. Another sad coincidence, I guess, but
Oh my God.
there it was. So I've
Wow.
dabbled in the arts here and there.
Ah, I see. So no musical theater, no singing, only
I
acting.
like singing. I love musical theater. I would love to be in Into the Woods or Little Shop of Horrors or any of these things, but every time I audition, I get about 2 bars in, and they say, "For the love of God, please stop."
Oh my God! I can't believe you mentioned Into the Woods. Almost nobody knows about Into the Woods.
High in a tower like yours was, but higher, a beauty asleep.
Oh
That
my
one, right?
God. Yes. What the heck? Wow.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, I'm like
me too.
obsessed with like old theater. Like, so I like love to go on YouTube and like look at old like theater productions of like old musicals and stuff. And I'm like obsessed
Sure.
with Bernadette Peters. I think she's so cool. She has such a wonderful voice.
That's the thing, right? Is that the musical actors have such range of the
Yeah.
incredible voice, and displaying emotion while doing it is very challenging. And then they have to still do the speaking roles, which is another whole skill set in and of itself.
It's true. It's true. It's very hard.
That's
I was
why
training for such a thing, but you know.
I know it's impressive.
Oh, thank
I'm ready to hear you sing Agony, and I'm ready to hear you sing Into the Woods and all of the, all of the stuff. There's so many good musicals.
I love Little
Let's.
Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors is a good one. I really think I could have played the dentist. I felt like that was my calling, but unfortunately, my voice disagreed.
I watched Little Shop of Horrors when I was a kid. My mom let me watch it when I was like 5.
Big mistake. That movie
Biggest
terrified the
mistake.
hell out of me.
Dude, I remember I just recently watched it as an adult, and I'm like, oh my God, what was my mom thinking? Why did she let me
Well,
watch
on the
this?
cover, it's like there's plants. It's a love story. Also, there's murder and blood and terrifying stuff. So,
The dentist
it's
guy.
a slight misstep.
It's bad. I didn't know it was that bad. I was just like, oh my God. It's just like with so my mom, my mom is old. She's an older lady. She's elderly, and she doesn't really like. She's not really with the times, So if she saw it was a musical, she thought, oh, okay, it's safe. So I could see like Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was a kid.
Oh.
I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. I watched that. I watched Little Shop of Horrors. I watched that and books too. My mom would like let me read any book, as long as if it was a book, she would let me read it. She wouldn't like look what it was.
So you could read book. Any book is okay.
Any book. She was just happy that I was
my
reading.
mom was the same. My mom gave me it when I was 11, and I was like, yeah, this book's huge. And oh my God, that was horrible. I was so scared by that book. But yeah, what was the book that you first, what was the one book that you can always go back to that will make you turn a rainy day, into a perfect day? Do you have one?
Oh God. Oh man. It's been so long. Okay, so I used to read a lot of books in Spanish too. So there was this one book called Cien Años de Soledad by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And it was
Wow.
100 years of solitude. It was like a generational. It was a story about a generation of a family, like, and like going through all like the different like stories of each of the family members through the generation. It's about generational trauma, basically.
That's the one book that makes you happy on
I
a
like
rainy
it's
day?
a good book. Well, no, I mean.
Okay, all right, I'm ready. Isolation and lard bread when it's thundering outside. I'm ready.
I like. Oh no, I liked East of Eden.
Okay.
By John
all right. Well, we can
Steinbeck.
work with that one. We can work with that one.
Yeah, he's the same. John Steinbeck was a good author. Listen, I just read a
Sure.
lot of like freaky shit. Okay.
I love that. I'm a Kurt Vonnegut man myself. We like the classics. There's, reading is something that more people honestly should do. I know we sound old when we say that, but nothing better than the imagination.
Man, I just don't have the patience to read anymore. I don't
You're
know.
also very busy, I feel
Yeah.
like. So it could be that.
It's bad. I just like I used to read so much as a kid. Growing up, I used to read so much. I would read anything I could get my hands on. I remember reading I remember I had a teacher that was obsessed with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and she made us read all Lord of the Rings, and she made us read like all that stuff, and then she was like, "Now I want you guys to read The Sword of Shannara," and I'm like, "What the fuck is The Sword of Shannara?" And she made us read like all these fantasy stuff because she was like obsessed with like fantasy stuff, and
That's awesome. That's totally slick though. I feel like that's cool. I mean, we have to read the classics and things, but reading is the number one gateway. Even though we're too busy now, the other,
Yeah.
the people watching can pick up where we left off.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just too like maybe video games has like messed up my concentration.
Certainly has mine. I think we might have ADHD. I mean, I know I certainly do, but maybe that's been our escape now.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but there's something wrong with me.
Wrong with us. Wrong with
Us.
all of you.
Well,
So,
what are some of the types of games that you like to play?
oh, come on. I like every single genre there is except for two. You're not going to see me playing any of the MOBAs or any of the League of Legends or Dota or any of that.
The
I'm
League
out.
of
I'm out.
Legends. Mm.
I am 100% out. And honestly, as it pains me to admit this, I think my time playing first-person shooters is waning. I
no.
think it's a skill thing. I find it. I feel like the old man saying, "When I was your age, I was a crack shot in Halo 2." And it's true. I was competitive. I was good. But these days, especially streaming, I feel like the culture around FPS games has changed a bit towards the negative, and it's just not something I vibe with anymore. But it is what it is. But any other genre, action, adventure, co-op, puzzle, RPG, anything, I'm in. I am in.
No toxicity for you.
No toxicity for me. But it just, FPS games, maybe it's just me, but I feel like outside the battle royale genre, not a lot of innovation in the past 15, 20 years. So some cool things here and there, but I think it needs an overhaul. It needs some new blood, needs some exciting new features.
Yeah, it all feels the same to me. Also, I have really bad carpal tunnel, and it's hard for me to play.
Yeah, I mean you know what? And that's another thing. I used to play with keyboard and mouse like a pro, and now I'm like, where did I put my controller? It's shameful. It's shameful. I'm gonna put my old man glasses back on while we're having this discussion.
People are saying that you should try VR FPS.
Now that would be cool because nothing would get me shot faster than me having to actually panic in real time. So I feel like I'd be the stormtrooper aim. I'd be like, freeze, and I just But that would be a lot. That may mix it up. Maybe I'll put on the headset and give it a go.
Oh, would you ever play Would you play like VR chat or something, or no?
Hell yeah! Like I said, I would do anything. Those things are very interesting, and now that Twitch has started to become more of my life, I want to experiment into all of those things and try it out.
What made you decide to make, streaming more a part of your life?
Well, that's a really interesting question because I had been teaching for 10 years, and I had a very interesting job where I did teach the idols and the actors and the musicians of Japan as a senior class, and I really liked that. It was a private high school, but being around those kids who were so creative and able to still pursue all of those things despite my advanced age, I felt during COVID, I thought, you know what? Let's buy a computer for the first time after, geez, 8 or 9 years of living, without one. And I started getting into streaming, and Chris was like, "What is that Twitch? Make a YouTube, you stupid muppet." And I was like, "No, no, no. I like streaming." And he was like, "What is it called?" Twatch. And I was like, "Twitch." And he's I did it for 9 months by myself with really no, he was like, I didn't want him to shout me out. I didn't want him, I wanted to see what it was like organically, if it's something I enjoyed. And for me, it's the perfect blend of what I remember growing up, of hanging out with my buddies on game night, passing around some colas, sitting around the couch, playing games and talking. And also it lets me be, once again, tapping into that thing I was missing all these years, which is that performance nature where I can do goofy voices or tell jokes or improv. And that, as soon as it became sustainable, and I hope it continues to be so, I will do it happily as long as I can. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like I told you, I was a lonely lady. I was a lonely lady, and I was like, man, I just really wish I could do something with my life, and I wanted to make friends, and I wanted to talk to people, and I wanted to, experience what it's like to be around people without having to be in a room with people, since I really can't be in a room with people. And streaming really gave that back to me. And then I think, like, the more I would stream and the more I felt more comfortable on stream, the more I felt more comfortable, like, showing pieces of myself and, like, incorporating the whole, like, singing and doing funny voices and acting weird and doing little skits and doing this and that. And now it's like, holy shit, this is like, it feels like I was meant to do this my whole life. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's so
it
funny.
certainly seems that way when I
Yeah.
watch you. It's awesome.
It's funny because, like, I was talking to my sister, and I'm just like, I'm doing everything that I wanted to do in my life, but just in a different way.
Sure, that's a really good way of phrasing it. And on that point, I'm very curious because you've been streaming since what?
2017.
2017. Now, I'm going to show my I don't know a lot about VTubing. I just know the past 2 or 3 years how rapidly it keeps improving upon. The tech keeps getting better.
Oh,
The
yeah.
models keep getting more flexible and different designs. Has there been a marked change from like 2017 VTubing all the way to like 2022 in just 5 years?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, so much has changed in many
What wa-
aspects. I
What
think,
was it like when like the old version 1.0 Mousy?
well, at first, people made fun of me a lot because people didn't understand. And, like, at first, I thought that the VTuber thing, I thought the term VTuber was, like, strictly a Kizuna Ai thing. She was, like, really the first VTuber that ever came out, and she was on YouTube primarily. And I thought that was, like, a strict her only term. So whenever, like, I would stream, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm an anime girl on the internet," or I'm an AI or whatever. I used to say I was a demon AI, or like I was a anime girl, or just hanging out. I never called myself a VTuber until like 1 or 2 years later. That's when I started like feeling more comfortable because I saw more VTubers around. Like, I saw VTubers on Twitch, and I'm like, "Oh shit, they're also doing what I'm doing. And they're calling themselves
Right.
VTubers. Okay, maybe I am a VTuber then, And it's like, I remember at first, it was very difficult. I was using like free models, multiple different types of free models that you can find. on
Really?
Steam. Yeah, I didn't even have my persona. It was just me. and I didn't make my character until December 2019. It took me like a full year to save up money to buy to pay for somebody to make my model, and it was just like random. I had messaged them because they had released several like free models in the Steam workshop, and I was like, well, I like their art style, and I don't know, at the time you couldn't find anybody that did models. There was only like 2 people, and it was so hard to find, and everyone was charging an arm and a leg because there was like no competition, there was like no market, people weren't looking for it.
Wow. And how about now? Now is
Oh my
there
God.
hundreds of
So many people. Like, the industry is insane. And I'm happy. That's why I'm happy, because I see so many artists and they're like able to pay their bills because there's so many new VTubers coming out.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
stuff, and
That's cool.
it just makes me happy, and this is when I say support your artists. God damn
Support
it,
your
'cause they need
artists.
to eat.
Pay in full.
Yeah, pay in full.
You gotta pay in full. That's what we do, especially artists, because we already have the troubled background of entering into a profession where it's like, congratulations, you're now broke. And you're like, oh, well,
Yep.
all right.
It's
And that's
true.
with singers or artists or any of those things. You got to pay in full for the people who boost you up and do all of that. So, like, you know, I mentioned my little PTuber earlier, and it is the most basic of like VC face, or I don't even know the technology, but the rigging, right? How complex it's becoming now.
It's not.
You can really, if you want, have so many different customization options, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Very true. A lot of movement, a lot of different faces. I could show you a couple. Also, I saw somebody who rigged a penis.
Hey, what was that name again? I might need that for later. Rigged a penis. P-tuber. I think there's some synergy there.
The amount
Okay,
of people that I've seen, I've seen flash on my timeline on Twitter of people like, oh, look, I rigged my dick. And I was like, what the fuck? Cool. That's interesting.
That's what people tweet now. Hey, look, I rigged my dick.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this. I'm
Listen,
keeping the glasses on.
a lot of VTubers are horny.
That's true. But I will say I've noticed one prevailing thing. It seems like they're horny, or they're very supportive of each other for the most part. If you find a good group, they'll all prop each other up.
Oh,
and
no,
that's
definitely.
cool.
Yes. I have
I think
seen.
that's
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful
Damn.
community.
The game has changed in the VTubing world. They're rigging penises now. I can't believe it.
Back in my day.
Back in my
Ever.
day, we just showed the donger. But that I can't believe it. What an amazing, I'm glad that that's happening though. I am excited that this whole thing is. That was the other thing I realized is I look at people like you, and I look at people like Sea Dog and Ludwig. Twitch streaming in general has changed so much from when I got into it on the Justin TV / 2013,
man.
2012 days.
Justin TV.
And yeah, and it's crazy because you guys are able to break the format open and do all of these insane things. And I'm representing the old Vanguard and the Van Gang, where we do games and we talk. And I know you do those things as well, but it's crazy to see just how diverse the streaming community has become with IRL and talk shows or cooking shows or all kinds of crazy things that you can do now.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety, and I think that's why I love streaming so much. I had a friend recently complain to me about how nobody watches TV anymore, and it's because everybody's watching streamers all the time. And it's just like, I don't know, why would you watch TV when you can watch something as entertaining as somebody putting on a show, or I don't know. I just find streaming so much more entertaining than TV.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I will try and defend the old mediums. I think that each one provides a really unique experience.
True.
Long form storytelling. You've got some good TV shows, and for more shorter broadcasts, like a movie where you want to tell a poignant message, maybe. And then for live interactivity and entertainment, you got sports or streaming but here there's so much more we can interact with. There's so much more that we can and enjoy together. And I think that's what makes it so kick ass.
Yeah. Look, you want to see some of my toggles?
I want to see all the toggles except for the ones that the tweeting about rigging ding dongs and wing wongs.
No,
those
I
things.
don't
We
have
don't
a,
need to
I
see
don't
that
have
one,
a
but-
ding dong. I
Okay.
don't have a ding dong. I
All
just
right,
have
well-
like weird effects to do on my face, like this.
I am ready.
Do you notice my
What?
face?
What the? How do you? This is just a talk. How do you get these things? This is so much cooler than. That's kind of frightening, actually. I see. I can show you my toggles. I got
I
got this one
Furbies
right
a
here
lot.
where we go like this if we
Oh,
want
your
to.
face matches mine. Look
Wait.
at mine.
Hey, we're the same, you and I. Look at us. we're okay. So wait, can I ask, what is that toggle for when you use this? What? Stop.
Well, I just
Your beak is moving at me.
really
What's
like
that
Furbies.
for? Oh, Furbies. That's right.
This is a Furby
I
face.
feel like I hate it, but it's strangely I kind of like it, but it's absolutely horrifying. it's
Listen, I
it's
love Furbies.
slightly cursed.
I collect Furbies. I have long Furbies at my house, and I love them so much.
Do you have another cursed toggle? You have a Furby face, your eyes got bigger. Is there any more? Or is that the two that we keep
I have a JoJo face.
a JoJo face? Okay, let's That is amazing.
I barely use it though.
Do you use that often?
No.
I do not have a JoJo face. I'm back to my. I have no more toggles. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can keep going. Like I could be a cat.
Oh well, I want to see cats. I want to see. Because I have a cat, and I will judge your. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. I like that. That one might be my favorite of the Furby JoJo cat toggles. I think that one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of the three, sure.
People like it when I become Copper Cat, though.
Ah, okay. I can see that.
Copper Cat is me, but with a tan and with black hair.
So these are when you use the different toggles, do you adopt a different personality, or is it just the same thing, but you're slightly adjusting how they view you?
I'm practically the same, but I think sometimes when I'm like this, I'm more bratty.
Oh, so it does. It's like wearing a costume when you're on theater. It imbues you with some new characteristics.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I do have a noir. I am a detective sometimes, or sometimes. Did you ever read a comic book called Watchmen?
Yes.
So sometimes I like to go into that character where I say something to the effect of,
This whole stream, it makes me sick. There's Furbies. There's these wild cat women, and sometimes they turn into JoJos. Is there no limit to their degeneracy? I'll find them, and someday they'll know the brunt of my justice.
Oh my
I think that's fun. I think that's fun to get into the Rorschach mode.
Holy
And
shit! You sound
I
just
feel
him.
like, yeah, well, and then I think it's also important to. We have a noir one where I have my lucky cocoa cigarettes. These are the you can still buy these in Japan, where you have they're 20 cents, and you can have like a little. I have a filter that goes black and white, and we can have like a little detective story and play some music. That's always fun. But those are my toggles. I think yours are much better.
Yeah, but no, I've seen you. You have some pretty cool effects, like transitions that I've seen on your stream.
Oh, thanks. I
You're so
wish I
creative.
could take all of the credit for those, but really I'm standing on the shoulders of giants who made them for me. So I'm very thankful for their inputs.
Yeah, but still, it's nice.
Yeah, it's good to have something a part of your stream that makes it unique to your own, and that you can say like, this is part of my personality, not just what's on screen.
Yeah, that's right. You have a crazy intro too.
I do have it, just like you. I feel like your intro was world class awesomeness. So
Yeah, but yours is like
we-
really fun and entertaining.
yeah, it is. It is a really fun. It is a really, and the be right back screens and things add a lot of character, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, we have all kinds of goofy shit, and I feel like each time I play a game, I change all the alerts to that game, and we try to do some different impersonations and different kind of character stuff. So that's gotta, that's
Oh
what
my
makes it
God.
fun.
You make me feel so lazy.
No. You are the hardest working person that I've seen on this platform. So do not sell yourself short. Do not.
No. You make me no. No. That's not what the email that I got said.
Oh, well, you know what? Those emails.
Yeah, fuck those emails. I'm too lazy to press the button that beeps it out.
It's right next to me because I like pressing that button. It's a lot of fun. But, it's like when I had to give those inspirational speeches. Oh, there's too much negativity trying to pull us down, and those
That's true.
emails can just go off.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the stuff.
That is the stuff. Wow, I've already learned an awful lot today, that you have different toggles. There's lard breads, and that you have made. I didn't know so much about the whole rigging stuff and how different the VTubing, and like from 2017. Is there still videos of that, of like your original?
Oh no, those are all
1.0?
lost to time.
No. That's a lie.
Those are all
I
lost to time.
know you have them hidden on your C drive somewhere.
I think the earliest videos that I have are when I first got my first VTuber model, like my real first one. That
I don't believe it.
commissioned
I have a folder named homework that's 3 terabytes, and I know that you have a secret folder as well. You cannot hide it forever. You really, you don't have the original 1.0 anything?
Here's the issue. Somebody asked me one time to come on stream with my I don't even call it my 1.0 model because I used multiple models. I think one time I was like that character from the freaking what's the name of that show? Kemono Friends or whatever. I used to do that all the time.
You're asking the
Yeah.
oldest man on Twitch. I have
Sorry.
no. I'm like, the bold and the beautiful, and you're like, no.
So I remember one time somebody was like, "Oh, can you come on as the baby mouse model?" And I'm like, I can't do that. And it's the reason being is that the application that was used back then does not exist anymore.
Wow, so the tech is gone even.
Yeah, it's gone. It's dead technology, and that avatar was not compatible. It's not compatible to today's programs. That's how fast
That
everything
sucks.
moved.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. I mean, it's astonishing to put into context when you say like this has only been a year or two, and I mean, it's literally the VTubing thing and Twitch in general has just exploded, and it's hard to keep it into context. It's wild.
It's difficult. It's difficult because I thought about, even with my first model, I can't use it because it was with the old program, and I can't use it with this one. Like the model breaks. I tried importing into the new software, and the model completely broke, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I think we should crowdfund a new toggle that goes to Baby Mouse or 1.0. It can be rebuilt. We must have it
Oh
back.
God! Everybody keeps asking me. I might do a remaster of my 1.0. I'm trying. It's difficult because
There
it's
we
like,
go.
listen, I'm a part of the camp where it's like, I don't like looking back. I only like to look forward.
I totally agree. I'm 100% with you. And in that regard, I absolutely, you've already lived that once. Those experiences are done and dusted. but I think I have realized that beyond our own, how we view it, a lot of people are interested in the origins of,
It's
this
true.
and that, and
Oh yeah,
it's less for us,
definitely.
I guess.
I think
Mm.
people
But I
are always
totally agree with
interested.
you.
And I get it. I get it. People want to know. People want to figure shit out. But it's like it should be at the discretion of the person whether or not they want to revisit that part of their life or not. And
I
I
totally
don't
agree. I'm
want.
sorry for bullying.
No, it's okay.
I was like, bring us the 1.0 now, and then I understand. I totally get it. I hope no one digs too far back in my own acting career.
It's just like you meet somebody and they're like, "Hey, I remember you. You're from that old TV show. Say the line." And like,
Oh,
no.
yeah, exactly. I respect that. And I just find it, what I'm more interested in is not so much revisiting it in the sense of like, I always like seeing progress.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I regret that I first got to see you about maybe 3 or 4 months before your incredibly successful subathon, which
Oh,
again, congratulations.
thank you. Thank you very
But
much.
in that regard, I've already seen you grow so much in all these different things, right? And I'm just curious. It's just interesting. It's just fun. But I understand. I agree with Mouse. No one ever ask again, or you're gonna have to deal with me.
Oh God.
So well, don't take me up on that. I'm not actually very strong, so I'm very terrified.
No, you're a tough guy. That's it.
I'm very.
You've been contracted.
They got right past me. So, but yeah, thank you for sharing your different toggles and your history. I do appreciate the history lesson.
Oh, no, I'm glad that I could share the history lesson with you. It's a lot.
Unbelievable.
VTubing is interesting and it's weird, and so is streaming.
Yeah, it's the one last thing I feel like where it, in a lot of ways, it's properly recognized. Like everyone, they say it's tough or they say it's fun, but other than like radio, there's very few platforms where you talk for 6, 7, 12 hours straight, and it's live content. It's very rare,
That's true.
and you deserve all of the success that you've absolutely gotten. So congratulations. It's insanely crazy to think about how much content is available.
When are you gonna do your subathon?
I no. For me, I don't have that in me.
Why
I like to keep it simple, keep it clean, and I'm afraid of the night terrors that I'll have while sleeping, and everyone's gonna be able to see that. So
I was gonna ask you, are you afraid of sleeping on stream?
not so much afraid. I think that it would be hard for me to unwind enough where I'd feel more comfortable, like letting go of that need to entertain. Does that make sense? Or not entertain, but be present and just
I
say,
get
I'm gonna
it.
go to bed now.
I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
I slept on stream. I kept my mic open because I'm an idiot and I'm crazy, and I was right on stream. Like I slept in front of my camera of my phone, and you can see me moving. And
See.
you could hear me, and I think I'm just a little bit psychotic.
Well, I mean, imagine, where our mind goes when we rest. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I've never recorded my sleep, but I think it would be. The other thing is for me, I don't know. Maybe this is like you. I don't know, but sometimes I'll do even a 4-hour stream or even something like this, where I was really looking forward to it. I want to be alert. I want to be able to react and listen. As soon as the stream is done, I'm gonna take a hot bath and fall asleep. I'll be tired. It takes it out of you, for me at least. Like, it's very draining, and I don't know if I could sustain 2 days straight even.
Oh man.
Although, it might be interesting if I was like, subathon, each sub adds 5 minutes. I might be done in like 35 minutes. I'd be like, okay, let's go.
What are you talking about? When I did my
it might be pretty
subathon?
quick.
Well, when I did
It
my
might be
subathon-
short.
No. You'll be if you put each sub adds 5 minutes, you will be streaming for like 5 months.
I think it'd just be like,
I'm not
oh,
kidding.
sweet dinner. Okay, thanks,
No,
guys.
listen. Mine was 15 seconds per sub, and I was on 31 days.
Unbelievable. That is insane. That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god.
And I'm doing another
Props
one.
to you though. You got to do it. You got to run it back. I will support your next subathon. That's what I can do.
You're too kind. Thank you very much.
Mm.
My next subathon will be I will have a charity aspect into it, so I will be raising money for the IDF at the same time. So I'm excited.
That's the one. That's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think maybe you could maybe 15 seconds was the one before, right? 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
You might have to go
percent.
10.
I think
You might have to no, 15. 15's good. 15's good.
That's what I ended up doing. So I hit 30 days on my subathon, and then at 30 days I still saw that it was still going, and I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna lower it to 10 seconds per sub, and then slowly it started. Finally, it started dying. But it took
Damn,
so
that's
long.
crazy. That
so
is
long.
absolutely mental. And I was watching that. It was riveting because you had to come up with so many creative ways to keep everyone entertained and into show stuff. And I honestly at one point I'd be like, after like 8 hours, I'd be like, we're done. I'm out of stuff to talk about. That's it. I have nothing else to say. And then yeah, you did not do that. It was incredible.
I could talk all day. I'm a lonely woman.
All day?
I told you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
That's
I think
impressive.
I just lost my mind a long time ago. I'm kind of crazy.
Well, you and me both, but that's all right. That's just how it goes. That is just how it goes.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm so weird.
No, you never apologize for your weirdness. I think if people looked 1 second at any of our streams individually, they'd be like, those are some up people. They are weird. And
That's
hey,
true.
that's okay. That's just who we are. And I think that that's what attracts all these other weirdos who are watching, because we're all uniquely fun. That's what makes us, friends
I'm
and
glad.
able to share all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad to
Yeah.
be able
Although
to
some
share
people-
weirdness.
Got to be able to share weirdness. And if they don't like it, well, okay. That's fine. There's plenty of other channels where they don't have weirdness.
Yeah, you can just get the fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Just off.
Yeah, just fuck off.
I think I might, you know what? I'm starting to feel pretty loose. I might not use the beep next time. That's how I'm feeling.
Oh my God, walk on the
So-
wild side.
I'm feeling it. Don't
That's-
tempt me.
You
So,
know,
yeah.
I really enjoyed watching your last stream with Connor when you guys did the IRL stream.
Oh, that was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so much fun. I think you. I swear to God, every time you're on stream, you seem to have like a different story to tell, and they're also riveting. And I'm like, how much have you lived? Because it seems like you've done a lot of shit.
I think that the one thing that if I look back on my life, I have had so many bizarre and awkward personal anecdotes and stories and experiences that I can't help but remember them in a positive way. I could tell countless stories of embarrassing tall tales of shame and regret that I've people I've met and experienced and things, but that's the way it is. That's what makes our lives interesting and stuff. So
What is the weirdest
Yeah,
thing that has ever
usually-
happened to you?
what's that?
What is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to you that you're not afraid to talk about on stream?
Oh, well, I would tell you anything, and that is a very loaded question. But of all of the craziest things, it's hard to put them into rankings. I think getting fired from the radio station was one, but I'd say number one was being a voice actor for a cult in Japan.
What?
That was a unique experience, to
Wait,
say the
what?
least. Yeah, there was a religion that popped up, and they needed an American voice actor to dub their videos. And I was only been here for about a year, and I got the opportunity, and I joined them, and I went to the audition, and they said, okay, well today we're gonna pay you $450 an hour. And I was like, that's amazing. I'll say anything. And then I quickly regretted that. But they took me up to this room on the 13th floor, and there was this big gilded building, all this gold everywhere. And they sat me down. And I remember when I got there, it was already weird because I'll have to use a prop really quick. I'm gonna grab my Relaxuma.
Oh God, Blackuma.
It was not Relaxuma. It was a Sazai-san. It was a Sazai-san dog or something. And there was this beautiful young woman at the front reception, and she grabbed it and she said, "Hi there. Are you here to do the voice acting?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Say hello, hello, hello." And she was doing this number, and it was terribly frightening. And I said, "Yeah, I'm here." And she took me to the top floor, and she said, "Okay, well today's thing is we want you to have the voice of El Cantare." And I was like, "What was that? El what?" She's like, "You know who like Muhammad is?" And I was like, "Yes." "Do you know who Jesus is?" "Yes." "Do you know who Santa Claus?" "Yes." They said all of those voices speak to one. That's you, and it finds your body, and then you speak as El Cantare. And I said, "All right." And so I had to watch this video, and as the dub is going by, I had to recreate it. And I thought, all right, well, I'll just read along. And I was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yep, El Cantare is ready." And it started, and I'm reading. I'm like, "The heavens have spoken, and the gods have decreed that I can delete all universe." Can I read that one more time? And they were like, "Yeah, actually, you know what? Could you try it again? But remember that all of the voices are speaking to you." And I was like, "Right, Santa and the leprechaun and all of the ones." And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, let me try to, I'll give it a little more gusto." So we start the video again. And I said, "The heavens have spoken, and and she's like, stop, we're just not really hearing Jesus." And I was like, "Okay."
Holy shit! What the
I was like, I'm not El Cantare. I realize no one's speaking to me. But I'll go full Dynasty Warriors 3, and we'll go, there's an old acting trick where if you start at the top, it's easier to tell someone to do less, and then you can build it off that. And she's still holding that dog and watching me. And so I went full, like I had to even gesticulate because I was like, "The heavens have spoken." And she was like, and I did about 45 minutes of just ridiculously awful scream shouting. And as we're recording all these things, I'm not making this up, hand to heart, I swear to God, this door opened in the back because we were in like the 13th floor of this lobby. It wasn't a voice acting booth. It was just like a room, and I had a mic in front of me. And about a dozen or so hooded figures came in, and on the very front, there was one of them who was holding a pillow, and on the pillow was a gold gilded dagger, and they were making some sort of strange chants. And she's like, "Oh, time to go." And I was like, "Ah!" And so that was the end of that job. And they thought, "We really hit it off with you. Do you want to come back and do more voices?" And I was like, "No, Santa's telling me that's enough. I think we've I was like, ho, no, I'm out. We're done."
Holy shit!
So
That's terrifying.
it was terrifying, but they did pay in full. So I got my $450, and I kept on moving on. But like, it was those kind of experiences. And like, I've had so many of that weird stuff. Like I've been a model for a punching bag that you could find at Don Quixote.
What?
I've done so many strange jobs. My job history is ridiculous, but it's those kind of experiences that really shape you who you are.
Wait. What is this model for a punching bag thing?
Oh, I think I actually have it. Let me see here really quick.
What?
I'm not the punching bag, but see here. Ah. All right, yeah, I got it. Somebody, and I would like to point out before anybody talks shit. I know it looks like a tanga. All right, it's not. It's not a tanga. And stop saying that it is. This is the Jinsei punching bag, and you can see, regrettably, a very fat and stupid me in the background looking terrified. And yeah, there's more. There's another one there where I'm holding this crazy woman back, or perhaps we have the one where I'm a dweeb who's dropping his folder of important documents as she's punching because she hates her job. Yeah, the old Jinsei punch. I don't know if I'm proud of that one, but it can be yours for $29.99 at any Don Quixote store. But yeah, this is just one of the many things I've dabbled in.
Whoa, that's incredible. What the fuck?
Well, it's embarrassing, I'll tell you that.
What? Why embarrassing? You have so many odd jobs.
I
That's
can tell you
amazing.
about 10 reasons why.
Tell me why.
And I remember after I finished that, there was this really cool woman. She was from somewhere, and like this is about 7 years ago, and I think she was from the Ukraine, and she was getting nervous. Like I don't know why. They flew her in here. She's a professional model. I'm a professional and she had like 25 jobs lined up, and this was just one of hers. And this was like this is my only job. And they were like, she's having trouble getting into character. Can you like help her? And I was like, what? and so they had me go out there and do all of like her movements first. And then they were like, nah, okay, now you go do it. And I was like, thank you. And then they said, you know what? We really think you've got some great flexibility. We have another job lined up for you. We want you to be like a fat man who can't reach his back with a back scratcher. And I was like, no. They were like, shirtless fat man who can't reach his back. And I was like, no, there are limits. There are limits to my willingness to embarrass myself. But I was like, I'm fine. I'll do your Tenga punching bags, but I won't be a shirtless fat man. So it was those were fun experiences, but I could tell you 50 different job things. But yeah, those are fun stuff.
Whoa, man, you have a very lived life.
Yeah, it's tough paying the bills, and you put yourself out there, I think, and you find out that it doesn't matter how you look or how. It's about just being out there and taking that risk. So that's what I've always learned. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you're doing other stuff.
I feel like with me, like I'm only just living my life now because I've had to be isolated for such a long time, and I missed out on so much that it's like now is when I'm experiencing things and making friends and knowing stuff. Like I learned how to file taxes like an adult.
That sounds fun. I like that you're like making friends, having fun, filing taxes.
I learned how to pay bills.
Yeah.
Like an adult.
I think that's cool though, because I can safely I know that you're nearly 7,000 years old, but
that is true.
In another strange way, yeah, there is no time limit on taking these kind of risks, right? Like 37 was when I started streaming, and I definitely represent one of the older demographics who are still getting out there and doing it. But I'm finding out those same things just like you are. It's just at a different time. So it's that's the beauty of it.
It's true. It's true. I feel like I get a lot of nice messages from people that are, they tell me, oh, I've been watching your streams and you've inspired me because like you picked yourself up from a rough place, and I'm a little bit older and I feel like my life was over because I'm also sick, da 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 da. And they like got the courage to like pick up like a new hobby or do something. And I think that that's amazing because like your life never stops. It's always there.
Exactly.
You just need
That
to
is
learn how to
so
live it.
fucking cool to hear. That
Mhm.
makes me legitimately happy that people reached out to you and have those kind of experiences, and that they can say that you've inspired them to try this and that. Because I think as you get older and the more you get into that job or that routine, you start pushing away from you know what, I don't think this is gonna work, or I don't have the experience in this and I don't want to do it. No, it just takes time to learn those new things, right? So you just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like, so like having like a chronic illness and stuff, sometimes like you feel very much like life fucked you in a way, and you feel like you don't have a life. But it's like I've come to find that, like I said earlier, your life doesn't stop, it keeps on going. You just need to learn how to live it differently, and how to learn to live it to suit you and your circumstance. Because for a long time I was like, man, my life is over, this sucks, I'm never gonna do anything, and I'm trapped in this loop of garbage and hell. And then I started streaming, and it was just like, oh, never mind.
See, look, everyone right here claps in chat. This is the best example, right? Right there. This is that's the best part. That's what makes it so awesome. So I feel inspired. I think on the next cyclothon you should give the fucking hype speeches.
Me, no.
I think I'm ready to. I want to go out there and take on the world and punch down those Tengas. So.
Oh, no. I'm not good at speeches. Connor doesn't want to hear a speech from me.
I think Connor would love to hear a speech
He
from you.
loves
I think
your speeches. Your speeches were inspirational, amazing, and emotional.
Don't you turn this back on me. But I do think it's pretty awesome the way you described it there, and you put it basically better than I could. But keep putting yourself out there, keep doing strange things, and if you're lucky, you too can be a background on a punching bag box, or perhaps a Twitch superstar. It's who knows where the dice will go.
Give us a good speech. Come on, one for the road.
Me?
Yeah.
For the is this the end, or
no.
is this the? Or do you mean like? Oh, okay, I was like for the road. All right, here. Well, since we were talking about the IDF,
to run on.
The road that we're gonna continue to, we're gonna go with we're gonna talk about the IDF, but we're gonna, just to get that kind of, just to start it off. Okay, I have to play myself a little music. You won't be able to hear it on your side, but I can make it feel. It helps me give the gives me the power to give those speeches. So, all right, give me a second. Maybe that. Wow, it's very loud. That was. You could hear that.
Music speech.
All right, here we go. Listen up, you sons of bitches, demons, dogs, humans, friends, wherever you are and however you're listening. I have an important message for you. Yeah, we did the cyclothon. Yeah, the Van Gang did raise some money. I was there. You were there. We felt it. We went far. We accomplished a lot. But I'm asking you right now, I want you to go a little further. Yeah, maybe you're not going to have your name on the screen, or maybe there's not going to be some big number that we're climbing towards, but the IDF never fucking stops. There's still people out there who need our help. There's still people out there who can take those donations. I want you right now, not after breakfast, not after dinner, now, to go to that site, click that button, and donate $1, $5, $10, because that small amount that you give from your wallet can make a big difference to those out there. So it's all done, right? We did it. $316,000. No, this is just beginning. And together, all of us, the MILFs, the DILFs, the Tenga punchers, and the Colts, all of us can make a difference. So get out there and sign those goddamn checks. Until next time, I'll be looking for those. Pay in full. There we go. That's all I got. Those are hard to do. I'm not good at that shit. It's hard.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. There you go. The important thing was go out there and support, even if it's unconnected to something. It's maybe I think once a month or more, once every 6 months. I don't know. It's hard because the head starts spinning and then you're like, I don't know where we're going with this. But there you go.
You just let the feeling take you.
Yeah, there you have it. So that's the hype speeches. By the second time, because I remember Chris put me on the spot, and I don't think it's actually on camera. We'd gotten up on like the second day, and he goes, Pete, give us a rousing speech to rally the troops before we go on and Paul, turn on the camera. Get this guy on camera. And I gave this like absolutely bomb ass speech. It was like the best one. And then Connor was like, yeah, let's get. Well, actually, Connor, he was like,
yeah, let's go. Nice speech, Pete. What do you guys think in chat?
And then he looked down at his phone. He's like, oh fuck, I wasn't on yet. Oops, sorry, I thought we were live. And I was like, oh, damn it. And then Paul was like, hey, wait, I wasn't recording yet. Could we redo that? And I was like, oh,
no,
come on. So I had to do it again for the right there, and it was it was brutal. It was, but it's sometimes frightening because you want to inspire and you want to have fun and you want to throw some jokes in there, and you just kind of see what happens when you start speaking. But yeah,
you were great. You
it's
were
fun
great
times
during the cyclothon. You kept morale up. Poor Connor was dying.
I felt so bad for those guys. I ran 10 kilometers and fell over and died, and I was like, okay, that's enough.
I don't know how they did it, man, because I'm just like, this is just insane. I don't know. I just can't. I mean, I can't begin to fathom what it's like, but it was just really nice to watch, and it was very inspiring, and it was nice that you were there, and I think you did a great job, and I want to say thank you for helping and for supporting the idea.
It's my pleasure.
It's important to me.
Oh, absolutely. It was life-changing for me. In a lot of ways, I was talking to Chris. I was like, Chris, I don't know what am I gonna do there? And he was like, Pete, are you fucking stupid? It's gonna be a blast. You're gonna be in the van, and you're gonna cheer us on, and we're gonna make a lot of money for the IDF. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know what I'm gonna. He was like, shut the fuck up and get there. And I was like, okay, yes, I'm on my way. And so, when Chris says jump, I usually just say how high. But like, to me, I didn't initially see what can I offer. But I did learn later on that there was some real fun value of not only having the van perspective and seeing the behind the scenes, but I also think that Paul and Ian are really interesting people. And so it was awesome to have the two views. It was awesome to have the banter between the boys, and we needed a little American energy in there. Yeah. Come on. So it was very fun. It was absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Very much. That's right. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. That American energy.
It was. That's right. And as I keep getting older, we got to push back Father Time and say, not today.
Yeah.
I've still got something in the tank. But yeah.
You got tons in the tank.
I sure do. I have to go to the bathroom soon. That's what we're talking about, right?
Oh,
so
you can go.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay right now. But it's soon, and I'll bring my cat back. I'll show you the cat after. He's super cute.
I can't wait to see your cat.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the van gang, and that was the little speech and fun stuff. Good times.
That was wonderful. I was just well, I mean, I was surprised. I remember when Connor told me that he was gonna do the cyclodon. At first I was like, You're gonna what now?" And he's like, I'm gonna cycle for charity." I'm like, "Oh, what charity?" And then he told me the IDF, and I start crying because I was like,
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
I started
That
crying, and then he told me Chris was involved, and I was like, "What?" And then I cried even more, and then he told me you were gonna be there.
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was a you were that's I obviously showed up quite late. I was more of like the second half, and I didn't get the full experience because from what I was watching, it was just tons of countryside. And then I showed up in Sapporo, which is a big city, and so it was pretty easy for me. But for them, man, what a insane ride! What an absolutely badass event that was.
it was amazing. I think I don't know how many times I did it, but I streamed as well because he gave me permission to stream and to watch the stream. And it was so nice because I would put myself in the middle of the screen and I put myself in a little basket, and it looked like I'm in a little basket riding on his bike.
Oh, that's so awesome. I wish I could have seen that. That is the best. You were in the Mama Chetty. That's what they call that. The little basket.
Mama Teddy?
Yeah, the Mama Chetty. I don't know why it's called that, but that's the name of those bicycles that have the little basket on the front and they're pedaling to go to the store.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people made fan art
that's
of me as
awesome.
ET.
Ow. No. I'm sensing a new toggle soon. Maybe a mouse ET toggle.
Oh, I mean, I already have a blanket that I put on during the stream, so it kind of did look like I was ET.
I think I did see some of the art, which was just, I have to say, one of the hallmarks of your community that I find so endlessly entertaining is how many talented artists contribute to your channel and on like Twitter and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's so many people that draw so many amazing pieces, and I'm just blown away each time by the fan art because it's really nice to see people so engaged and drawing really cute things.
Hmm. Wow, well. I cannot believe I just looked at the clock. We've already been talking for almost 2 hours.
I told
How
you.
is it feels like 20 minutes?
It does. I told you I can talk all day.
That's incredible.
Well,
I am stunned.
I'm not boring you, am I?
0%. No, I think this is some of the most fun I've had on Twitch in my entire 2 years of doing it, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
What? Even more fun than being with Connor? Say yes so I can brag
Look,
to him.
Connor. Yes, I'm gonna say it directly, and this is the most fun I've ever had. It is way better than Connor and Chris. I'm blinking to please save me. No, it's been a blast and it's been different. Connor's like, drink up, and then Chris is like, let's do this, let's have fun. But this is more of like just a one-on-one with the great one. I get to just chat and have some fun.
Oh yeah, the drinking. I see. Yeah, he tries to get you really drunk.
Well, that's a lot of, but the IRL streams are always just so different. But yes, this is an absolute banger. I hope that I'm not boring you.
No, you're not boring me at all.
So-
I love listening to you speak, and your stories are incredible, and you're just a very interesting man.
Oh, thanks. I do appreciate that. Mm.
You bet.
I am curious though, if I may be so bold. You did say that there was at least 2 people submitted a question. Is that actually true?
That is very true. People did submit questions. Would you like me to ask you some of them?
We'll wait. I'll wait for you when it's ready. I just want to. I just couldn't believe that I thought the first question would be like, Premier who? And
What? You thought people were gonna
remember
who you?
I guarantee you I thought that, because we were coming back, I did a video with Chris. This was about a year and a half ago. We went to the northernmost point in Hokkaido, and we had to replace a birthday mug that I'd got from Natsuki, who it was broken. And we were driving back, and he had already watched my stream before, and I hadn't, I had about 20 average people watching, which was really good for me after 8-9 months of just doing it by myself. And he was like, Pete, I have 2 problems with your channel. And I was like, all right, let's hear him. He was like, your camera's fucking shit. And I was like, okay. I was using like a Logitech, whatever. And he was like, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a camera. And I was like, thank you so much. Are you sure? And he was like, yes, as long as you promise to use it. And I did. And then he's like, the other problem I have is your name is fucking stupid. What is it? Premium food? And I was like, no, it's PremierTwo. And he was like, rubbish. Change it to Pete's Tokyo Tavern. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going Pete's Tokyo Tavern. He was like, Wallaby Salby Pete. And I was like, no. And he was like, just fucking change it from Premium. What is it? He hates my channel name. And so does Connor, but I'm okay with it now.
Tell me why that name?
So the name is there was a bar that I lived near, and if you remember the Van Gang, there was a gentleman named Ian who helps a lot on Journey Across Japan, Ian Rudd. And we had a kind of opportunity during COVID to do a podcast. We did a basketball podcast, and every time we went to discuss it, and every time we went out for drinks, we always went to this one place called PremierOne. It was like our small little hole in the wall bar that they know our name. We play our darts. We play video games on the put up TV. It's just our place. And when we started the stream, I thought, Ian and I will be constant co-hosts. So it'll be PremierTwo, like two of us. And then Ian was like, no, I don't want to be on every stream. Fuck that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll do it most of the time. And in honor of the great place that is PremierOne, I will, and I'm not really PremierOne quality. I'm more of like a second best. And after that, we had the song and we had the people who it just seemed too late to rebrand, and now it's just kind of done. But it is what it is.
I think Connor shouldn't talk with his damn stupid name, Sea Dog VA.
That's what I said.
What the fuck?
And he always he defends it. He goes,
No. It tells you what I do, what I am. It's perfect.
Yes, it tells me what he is, a dog.
I was like, you're not a dog. And yeah, the VA part, and Connor dog, sea dog, sea. And I was like, all right, he's got it worked out. But yeah, and I'm Chris, if you ever, well, I was like, well, what if you? What's that?
I like your name.
Thank you.
I like it. I like it. The story that you told me, I like it because of the story. It has a history.
You made my day. Now I have it on good authority that at least one person likes this name, so I am keeping it.
What's wrong with it? Like, I don't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was interesting. I'm like, I wonder what the story behind that name is. Because, like, when people ask me, oh, why Ironmouse? And I'm like, well, it was a Sailor Moon character that I liked. And people used to call me Mouse because I'm small. I'm 4'10" in real life. And people would always call me Mouse growing up. So it was just like, it made sense.
That was your first name too? In 2017, you were Ironmouse?
I was always Ironmouse. I should have named myself something else. To this day, I still regret it though. I'm like, man, I should have named myself like, I don't know, something cute. Something
but I mean,
cute.
I agree, and my regret a little bit is that as I remember when I'm sorry, I got one more awful story, but Xbox Live had just come out, right? I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, finally we can all have like these kick-ass fantasy names. I was like, I could be like Stottelheim or Rheinbach or some cool fantasy thing. And I bought a game called Rainbow Six Vegas. It was a first-person shooter. It just come out. Oh, and sweet. I had already made my kick-ass character. I was like, I don't remember what my name was, Valimir or something. And I was rappelling down a window, and I got shot in the face, and I was killed immediately. And I was like, who killed me? I wonder what crazy fantasy name. And the guy who killed me was named Poop Nacho. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's fucking awful. And then I was really disappointed, and I was like, no way. So then I go through a different place, and this other guy shot me, and I was like, was that Poop Nacho? It was his fucking friend Taco Fart. And I was like, all right, okay, this is bad. Poop Nacho and Taco Fart have killed me back to back. And I realized my one regret with PremierTwo is that I wish I had some sort of a gaming handle, like those old days of Valimir or whatever I was. But instead, I have like a location or like an obscure thing. I know what you mean, but oh man, that stunk. I realized people take handles very differently.
Yeah, people just want to be funny.
Yeah, Poop Nacho and Taco Farts,
Balls Deep
great.
69, you know.
Dude, I'll tell you this. I have a cousin, and we were at this wedding together, and she had this new boyfriend that she was so excited about. She was so excited to meet him, and she was like, "This is him. This is the guy." And I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you, man." And you know, we're just kind of shooting the shit, talking. And I was like, "Yeah, I've been playing a lot of video games." He's like, "Oh, dude, do you have an Xbox?" I was like, "Hell yeah, let's play some games." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Valimir." And he was like, "Yeah, actually, I should probably write mine down. It's kind of hard to, I should write it down." I was like, "All right." Listen, please protect your ears. This was not my name, but his name was, instead of the letter E, he had the threes. You remember when we used to do that? We had to change the letters to numbers.
Yeah.
He was Hymen Destroyer. And I was like, dude, you're dating my cousin? I was like, what? And so I remember I got me and my buddies. He was like, yeah, no, you know, just kind of like add me. It's cool. I share an account with my brother. And I was like, you share Hymen Destroyer with your brother? And dude, every single day we filed a complaint on Xbox on this guy's name. Like we were just like offensive name. And finally, after like 3 months of playing games with Hymen Destroyer, he was like, "Oh, I got reported, dude." So he was like, "Oh, dude, I have to change my name. As somebody reported Hymen Destroyer." And I was like, "Oh, what's the new name?" He was like, "Check it out, Spray Fart Drip." That's when I was like, all right, I'm a Sony man. I'm out. I'm leaving Xbox. I'm done. So that's why, if I could, I don't think PremierTwo is that bad of a name when we have those old things to compare them to.
Oh Jesus, man, that's bad. This is bad as fucking Connor's Minecraft name.
What's his Minecraft name?
His Minecraft name is Big Pee-Pee Man.
What? Why?
With the threes for ease.
No! Big Pee-Pee Man?
Can you imagine? So I joined, my friend made a Minecraft server, and we're streaming on this server, and all of a sudden, Big Pee-Pee Man comes on, and I'm like, oh my god, this fucking Connor. And everybody's like, who's
how
Big
did he
Pee-Pee
defend
Man?
that? Was this on the server recently?
Yeah.
On Ross's or no?
Yeah,
Different
on
server.
Ross's server. And I'm like, okay, Ross, because Ross was like, so what's, because I messaged him, I'm like, oh yeah, Connor wants to play on the server. Finally, we'll get him to play. And he was like, okay, well, what's his name? So I could whitelist him. I'm like, Big Pee-Pee Man. And then everybody's like, who's Big Pee-Pee Man? I'm like, oh god. And you know how Connor is. He's like, oh well, it was just a name I made along. It's my old name. That's it. I just made it a long time ago.
What does that mean? That when you were, so before you were Sea-Dog VA, you were Big Pee-Pee Man? Well, I respect it. You know what? He's Big Pee-Pee Man. You know what? I can't be mad if I have to deal with Hymen Destroyer. I almost joined that server. I mean, Ross and I did the Jump King together.
Why don't you join?
Yeah, Because the last time I played, it was a boomer moment. First of all, my name was taken. I was big PP man, but I have to change it now. But when I realized I have not played Minecraft since, I don't know, 8 years ago, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here, and I'm afraid it's too late for me to ask. There's emotes, and there's what the fuck is happening, and I felt like I'm just a bit too confused. I need like a tutorial.
Oh my god, I can help you. I can help you.
Okay. I need a lot of help.
I can
watched
help
you
you.
play it.
Yeah.
It looks extremely daunting. It looks really tough.
I can help you.
Is
I
it
can give you
easy to get
everything you
in?
need. Listen.
All right. Well,
It's a
I'll have
little
to think of a good
complicated,
name.
But I can.
Yeah,
help you.
all right. I trust you then. I'll start working on my name. In my character class, if I'm some sort of a slime or and
Be
I'll
a
work on it.
demon.
Oh, I can be a demon?
Yeah, it's the best class because you don't burn in lava and you can go in fire and lava and you'll never burn and you'll never die and you can swim in it.
Oh fuck, you sold me on it. Let's
It's
go.
OP as fuck.
I'll be Big Pete Man. That's fine, Big Pete.
I
But
dare you to do that.
that's exciting.
Yeah, you'll have so much fun.
I'm in. Let's go. Okay, but yeah, I'm nervous. I'm slightly concerned, but I think at the end of the day, this would be a lot of fun for me to try something new. I will download it and talk to Ross about it soon. So
I'm
thank
the
you.
best person you can come to. I crashed the economy on the server twice.
There's an economy?
There is
See,
an economy.
already-
I destroyed it 2 times.
Well, let's make it number 3. We're gonna crash that thing 3 times.
I'm the only
I
one
have a
with
lot
an
to learn.
elytra on the server. And I'm almost the richest person. The first richest being Ross, but I'm the second richest person on the server.
I will definitely be proud to be the Rat King who sleeps in the streets. I will be the poorest person.
What? No, you won't be poor around me.
I
I'll
want
keep
it.
you
I-
rich.
look. No, I want to live in the streets. I want to be in the gutters. That's where my type belong. I've always lived that way. I was telling Chris, you know, we did a video together. At one point at my lowest, when I was teaching, I was so broke, I had to go to the public park and steal toilet paper from their bathrooms. It was horrible.
Oh
So
my.
I am no stranger to the dirt. So I will be happy to see what that world is like from a different perspective.
Don't worry, I understand too. I remember I lived the 1 cup noodle a day life for a long time.
Those were the days. I'm very thankful that I got a better teaching job eventually, and then I was able to transition into streaming, which has been so fulfilling and so much more. You get so much more out of it. Yeah. So very, very, very lucky.
Pete the Rat King?
I am. I am really. That's. I think my title in my Discord is I'm the Rat King. So
Why are you the Rat King?
that is me. I think it's like. I think it started when I was in high school or maybe even middle school or college, and my friends would always say that because of my ADHD, I was always kind of like looking around, and they'd say, "Can't sneak a piece of cheese past old Hungry Pete, that rat," And I'd be like, and eventually, I'm the Rat King. I live in the dirt. I also like to go to restaurants and places that are not expensive. I like to slum it up. I like to see the true kind of, places that the world has to offer in terms of food and drink. And I think I love it. I love it.
I see. You're not afraid to get down and dirty.
No, of course not. That's where the best food is. That's where the best drinks are.
Oh man, I wish I could go out and have drinks and food like that. That would be so cool.
You will someday. I guarantee it. And maybe not. It's not that good. It's just, I think that sometimes you're there and you're like, this should be closed. This is a health disaster. And he's like, oh, sorry, I dropped that yucky tuna in the floor. Don't worry. Here you are. And you're like, okay.
Oh god.
And Japan's very much like that. Yeah, like half the places you're like, this would never open in America. This would never open.
I mean, I don't know, man. There's some pretty rough places in America as well that it's like.
That's true. That's true. I worked at half of them, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like, why are you open? This should not be a thing.
Oh, I love it. It's that's some of the best stuff though. I don't know. That's just I love my little dive bars. But yeah.
Yeah, 90% of any buffet. I'm not allowed to eat at buffets because this is a health hazard for me.
I think it's a health hazard for everyone. I think it's everybody. So I totally sympathize with that.
Yeah, I got into a fight with my mom because my mom loves buffets so much. She's like, oh, I love buffets. They're so good. I'm like, you need to stop eating at those things. Because every time she would eat at one, she would get sick. And I'm like, when are you going to stop? When is enough going to be enough?
There's never enough. That's the essence of the buffet. In Japan, they call it Viking style.
What?
I don't know why, but that's their imagery. So if you go to a place, it's biking, and I was like, oh, we're gonna bicycle there. They're like, no, it's biking. And I was like, I'm not following you. And then you get there, and it's Viking style. So you just go all in. And I was like, all right, way to go, Japan. Let's fire it
have
up.
all you can eat, or is it like there's a limit as to how much you can eat?
No, it's called tabe hodai. And it's all you can eat. Usually they put it at a set time, like 2 hours. But Baikingu restaurants, they'll let you stay 3 or 4 hours. So it's like you can yeah, but usually 2 hours, like the one where you grill the meat, the yakiniku, where you grill it with your friends. Usually about 2.5 hours and that's enough. That's enough time because you'll just want to throw up.
I mean,
It's
I don't know, man.
horrible.
I've seen people spend the whole day at a buffet. I saw one person spend the whole day at a buffet one time. And I was like,
A
what the
whole
fuck?
day.
How? How are you there the whole day? It makes no sense to me.
I guess if you wait long enough, eventually you will get hungry again. But damn, that's impressive.
All day.
All day. That's I'm not that kind of rat king. I'm close enough, but I cannot do all day. I can't do that.
Neither could
I will though. At the 2-hour mark, I will go to the bathroom really quick.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'll be back, and when I come back, I'll bring my tiny cat. And everyone, I'm very sorry. Thank you for letting me be here. I appreciate it.
Why are you saying
I'll be right back.
sorry?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, he's just as bad as me. He's just as bad as me. I say sorry all the time. And I say things like that all the time. Oh no. Oh no. He's just like me for real. Guys, I'm really sorry about earlier that my stream ended abruptly. I had an issue with my internet and it totally shit the bed. And I'm so sorry that happened. Fuck. I was so sad. I was so sad. And then it took so long for my internet to come back. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Come back now so I could try to come back on. And then after like half an hour to an hour, I was like, never mind then. I'll just come back on tonight for Speak of the Devil. And here I am. To be with all of you. Because I love you. Mwah. Yeah, I have internet problems, but I'm moving soon. And I found out that my fiber internet is working well at my new place. And I can't wait to move there. And I'm going to have fiber and 1080p streams. And no disconnections because I'm going to have a 2 computer set up.
This is not my cat. It's just a Coke. I'll be right back.
Oh my god, was that a Coke in a bottle? Cool. I don't even remember what a Coke tastes like. I haven't had a Coca-Cola in years. Is it good? Is Coca-Cola good? Yes? I was the type of kid. I was the Sprite kid. Every time I go and like my mom would buy food when I was a kid, I was the one always asking for the Sprite. All the kids were like, oh, I want Coca-Cola or I want Pepsi. I'm like, I want Sprite. Cat!
This is my best friend in the entire world.
My God, so cute, cat.
He's the best. He just woke up, and he's a Tokyo street cat.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Yeah, we rescued him from the streets, and if I try to give him a kiss, he always blocks my face, which is unfortunate.
He's like, no, please stop.
He's
on
he's
camera.
wise beyond his years, and the old Kupo block. But he also, this cat's name is Kupo, Kupo.
Oh, like the Moogle.
That's right, like the Moogles. And he's so cute. And the best part about him is he has no tail, just a little bunny tail.
Aww.
You done, buddy? All right. But every night he sleeps with us, and he's so cute. Yeah,
seems so
super
sweet.
chill. Yeah, I like this guy. All right, buddy.
Oh my God.
In about 5 minutes, we'll see him by the door over here trying to claw
Escape.
himself out. But that's my cat, and I feel like I'm deeply allergic to cats, but I was able to get an immunity to him, so that was cool.
Oh my God, how?
Luckily, I guess that breed of cat, like when I was 10, I got my first cat as my first pet, and I named him Snuggles. And I remember every night I'd come home from elementary school, I would run. I would straight run home so that I could be. Hold on, come here, buddy. He wants to sit on my lap for a second. Hold on, sorry. Every day I would come home, I would and it looks like, I know it looks like I'm masturbating right now, but I'm just patting my cat's back. I know it looks weird, but I have to make that disclaimer because I have to let people know it looks weird when I'm moving my hand like this, but he likes back pats. I swear. I'll show you just in case there's any doubt. He's right here.
Oh my God, he's patting his
So,
cat on the stream.
So when I was growing up, every day I'd come home, I'd put my face in, Snuggles' tummy, and it's so warm, and then I would get sick every night. And I remember I got really, really bad. And my mom came up and she said, she was like holding her robe and she was worried at midnight as I'm coughing. And she goes, "I'm so worried about you. Is there anything I can do?" And I was like, "Bring me my Snuggles." And that put me in the hospital for like 3 days because he almost killed me. And we found out that Snuggles was the one that was killing me. And we had to give it away. And then I got another cat a dog, not another cat, a dog named Snuggles Super Junior. And yeah, but when I got to Japan, luckily this breed, the hair or the dander, it made me sick, but I could take medicine for about 3 months. And then I got immunized to his particular hair. So I don't have any more issues with it.
Super Junior?
So there you go. Yeah, that was a dumb name. I don't know. Even at 11 years old, I feel like I should have come up with something better than Snuggles Super Junior. That was pretty lame.
That's cute.
Yeah, I suggested Poop Nacho first, but my mom said no, I guess. But
I wish I could have pets, but I never could because I was terribly ill like most of my life and horrifically allergic as well. So I was never able to have a pet. But I've always wanted a cat.
I hope that someday, we can turn the corner and you can get one, because I went many, many, many years without one. And, they do provide me a lot of, like you said, it can be lonely sometimes. And especially in a foreign country where you're often alone. And Kupo-chan here has been a huge, huge, huge help for me.
I think animals are very therapeutic. I remember there was this one time that I was very ill and I was in the hospital for like 5 months because I was very sick. And there was a emotional service cat and an emotional service dog that would come and make rounds around the hospital. And the dog would never come to me, but the cat would always come to me, and the cat would come into my room. And it was the best. I swear, every time that cat would come visit me, my day was instantly better all the time. And it's like, I don't care
Right?
how
It's
shit I felt. Every time I saw that cat and me being able to pet the cat, I was like,
That's yeah. It's they have a calming sense to them, and they don't really ask for anything in return. Just love and
yeah.
attention, and that's awesome because they give it back. And this little guy though, lately, he used to really dislike being anywhere near me when I was streaming, but then recently, he just kind of he pushes his head down into my lap and just sits here like a little void ball. He's completely hard. He's just a weird black cat, completely hard to see on like the couch and on the bed and stuff. Good guy.
He just wants to be close to you.
He does. Yeah. Let me see here. Coop, do you want to go? All right. I'm gonna stop petting you though because this really looks weird. So I'm gonna let you go. Okay, buddy. Go away. All right, everyone, say goodbye to little Kupo-chan. All right,
Bye,
don't get mad at me.
Kupo.
I'm just he got mad that I picked him up.
He's like,
All right,
"Why?
see
Why
you,
are
buddy.
letting me leave?"
You're a good boy. Why don't you go back to the bed, okay? Kiss? Do you want to kiss? Nope. Okay. Mwah. All right.
Oh my god! I want to get so bad.
But that gesture looked weird. I can't be sitting there for 30 minutes doing that gesture.
It didn't look that bad.
Okay, good. I didn't see what it looked like because I couldn't see, but
It didn't look
it was
that
enough
bad.
for me to move him away. So yeah, but I think that someday you will have a nice cat like Kupo, even though he is I'll tell you this, he is the king of this apartment. Anything he wants, he gets. That is the nature of it.
Ah, yes, I see. The king.
All right, let me get reset. Now I can sit here and give you my full attention without Kupo purring or whatever. So yeah, that's my buddy.
You know what? Now it's my turn to have a bathroom break.
All right.
I'll be right back.
I will talk to them. Take your time.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes.
Let me open up chat for a second. Let's see here. Let me see here. All right. You go. I got this. Hi. I'm having fun. Not. Kupo! Okay. What's up? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I was doing a Wayne's World reference. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so much for being here. This is wow. I cannot imagine how she reads this chat. Oh my God. I remember once I put on Connor's backpack and I had the power. And then I was like, I can't read this that fast. This is insane. So I hope you guys are appreciating this. I find it very humbling to be on this show and join the likes of all the previous guests who have had an outstanding resume of cool shit to talk about. And I'm like, here's my cat. I'm on a punching bag. Thank you, King Respect, for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. You still need to tell the baby and the dad story. Ah, the old wiggy waggy. I don't want to self-promote the Van Gang stuff. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to have a good chat with, with Mouse and with you guys. I also don't want to force any stories, but if they come up naturally, of course, we will share them. Yeah, I can't show intros. And the only intros which are what you see is what you get. Hey, I followed you. Doing good, bro. Thank you so much. I love your name. No. Bravia, I love your name. Seriously, you did such an awesome job supporting Monk during the bike-a-thon. Thank you, man. It was a pleasure. It was, I got a free trip to Hokkaido. The only downside was I was stuck with Ian and Paul in the van the whole time. No. They were awesome. Can I eat you, Pete? All right, so now I realized I shouldn't read every message out loud. This is the big difference from the channel I'm used to, and then the ones that I normally am in. Shouldn't have read that one. I saw my name and I didn't think, just spoke. Oh, well, that's all right. I don't know why. I didn't make it up. It was there. Check the VODs. Yeah, that's pretty... no, you can't. I'm deathly unhealthy. Look at this. There's nothing valuable here. I can feel your ADHD resonating with me. It's a blessing and a curse. In one way, I feel it's given me energy reserves that I would otherwise never have access to. But on the other hand, it does make things like living a normal life very hard. Read this. It has your name in it. Damn it. Wow, Pete's the real KC Master Pete. Favorite Pokemon? Easy question. First of all, I'm not a Pokemon guy. But if I was a Pokemon guy, it begins and it ends with Diglett. Diglett is by far my favorite Pokemon, and it's not even close. When I was like 14 or 15, there was a Burger King promotion that had like this big event of like the first Pokemon game, and I got like a Whopper and I won a free poster, and it was like massive. It was like this huge poster, and I was looking at them and I was like, these are all the lamest. What animals are these? That's my guy, Diglett. I don't care what he does. That's my guy. There he is. I even got my little emote. I'm not a Digimon guy. I'm not into anime. I'm not into manga. The last anime that I saw was that wasn't hentai was almost certainly Record of Lodoss War. That's not an admission of watching the other things. I'm just saying that you would probably know other titles. No, I was joking. But Record of Lodoss War was my last major one. And Ninja Scroll, Slam Dunk, Ghost in the Shell. And we've got, that's it. That's the beginning and the end. And Hokuto no Ken, you know, omae wa mou shinderu. Those are easy. Those are easy. But other than that, I've really missed the whole thing. I missed it all. I never really got into those aspects. I was always into gaming, from all the way from the Atari and the Tandy all the way up to modern stuff. So I kind of went this way, and then you other weebos went that way. And some of you are able to crisscross the streams. Not me. I stayed in my lane all the way until the end. But I don't even know what Hajime no Ippo is. Don't forget Shin Angel. That was an accident. I was at a family video, which was an old... This is a true story. I was at Family Video, and there was this guy working there. And I had seen Street Fighter, the movie, and Fatal Fury, the movie. And the guy was like... Oh, dude, like, I know you've been checking out those animated movies lately. And I was like, yeah, they're super cool. He was like, oh, dude, I got just the one for you. And he went behind like the black curtain area. And I was like, what's going on? He was like, hey, little man, dude, you can thank me later, little bro. Oh, I see you're into like Resident Evil 2. Well, I got this one. It's called Shin Angel. And I was like, wow, Shin Angel. Angels are agents of good. He was like, oh, yeah, they're real good. They'll send you from like 6 to midnight, little man. and then I went like right home, and my mom was like, oh, did you rent one of your cartoons? And I was like, yeah. I was like 13. And that shit started normal. Like they were in high school. And then that went to hentai land like that, like really aggressively. And my mom was like, oh my God, what are you watching? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I'll take it back tomorrow. I definitely won't hide that in the couch cushion for 2 weeks and have to pay a late fee. Yeah, thanks a lot, bro, at the Family Video. Thanks a lot for selling me out to Shin Angel episode whatever. That sucked. That was an unfortunate situation, to put it lightly. That guy was a G for real. Really? Why don't you go watch that? And then you tell me if it was worth sharing that with your mother. Bro was hooking it up, you know, back in that era, which was what, 90, 96, 90, I don't know. It was no man's land. You know, video games had just entered this era of like, you can crack your PlayStation and everybody can share all that stuff, and it was awesome. If I'm gonna just tell you right now, I have not seen Edge Runners, so I'll give you the same message I do. Attention chat, attention chat. Pete has not seen Edge Runners. He is a loser. He has not seen anime since 1999. Thank you. That's it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen nothing. I'm lame. No spoilers, though, please. No spoilers. I might watch it soon. I will watch Edge Runners. I am a certified loser. I know it's good. Lots of things are good that you've never had. You've never played Cartio Word of Fate on the PlayStation 1. That shit's good. All right. You've never played Guardian Legend on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that shit's amazing. So leave me alone. You know, there's lots of things. We've never had sex, whatever you want to read. My favorite Tekken character, that's a tough one because Tekken 2 and Tekken 3 were kind of like formative fighting games when I was growing up, and like Battle Arena Toshinden and Alpha 3, and I'm more of a Street Fighter guy than Tekken. But if I had to go favorite Tekken character, it would be like King or something like that. I like those grapplers. Or maybe everybody was Lei or Paul back in the day. Those were always who we chose. But I like King, got that tiger mask. Those are the good ones. Rival Schools was sick. Hell yeah. See, there's a lot. Eddie Gordo, of course, you know. There's too many great characters, and I'm not gonna yuck your yum unless your name is some of the guys who shot me in Rainbow Six. But yeah, Pete, favorite Game Boy game? Favorite Game Boy game? Favorite Game Boy game? I don't really. Tetris is really high up there because when you go on those road trips. But I guess for me, it's the original TMNT Game Boy game. I'm not a big Link's Awakening. That's fair. But for me, I'm not a big fan of portable game systems. Look, I keep my shame in my own house. I keep it in the shadows. I find that if I'm outside, I find it unable to relax fully when I'm playing video games because I'd rather if you've seen me on streams before, I often will go talk to strangers. Or I'll go do these other things. So I like to keep it, and my ADHD starts kicking in. I even picked up Tactics Ogre Reborn for the Switch, and I just can't play it in bed. I am a favorite Dead or Alive character. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Shame on you. I know you. I know your type. You were the guy who was just kept pushing down to crouch over and over, and you were testing out. No, it's a strategy. I swear. I'm setting up a combo. Oh, right. Setting up a combo so that you can check those jiggle animations. All right. You degenerate. No. I swear. I'm baiting them into. Yeah, you're baiting something. You're really baiting it. Wait till I leave the room and show me all the baits, you loser, you sicko. I'm not trying to call you out. We've all been there. Look, I'm not judging. But, So, Pete, Kansas City gang says, hi, what's up? And, you know, I brought the Kansas City headband. Or, that's not a headband, my beanie. In case we need a little extra power. My favorite Resident Evil game is number 1. I feel like the original, the OG, is the best. But you know what? I totally can hear the argument for literally all of them except for 6. But like, yeah, that's my favorite. The classic is the best because my favorite character is the mansion, and I really like all of the characters and their little vignettes. So there you go. Damn, I cannot imagine how she's such a pro at reading all of these messages. You guys are fantastic. You hope I'm having fun? What's up, J Steph? How you doing, man? I hope you guys are having fun. I was very nervous before, when I was like, all right, I'm going on Speak of the Devil. And I'll tell you the highest compliment is that Mouse makes this so easy to talk. She's such an amazing personality. And I always knew she was a good streamer. I always knew that. But what I've noticed tonight is that she's an even better person. And when you can have that kind of rapport after just 30 minutes is absolutely awesome. I'm humbled to be here. It's probably the coolest thing I've done on Twitch, other than hanging out with the boys and doing and all the other collabs I've been lucky enough to do. But yeah, tell them I couldn't even read that. There was I saw tell Melcy about the and it's gone forever. Yeah, I'm a Dreamcast gamer. Look, I've played them all. When I say I've played them all, I started with Pitfalls and Robotrons and what all Master Systems, and now I'm still playing games today. This is just what I'm about. You know, I love them all, but I have a soft spot for story-driven games like Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion, and Snatcher. Those kind of games. I like doing all the voice acting because, you know, come on, it's more fun that way for me to do a little of this, little of that. Did I watch Kamen Rider? No, I am not a dork. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to be a jerk. But I did go to a filming location of a Kamen Rider thing for an episode of Cool Japan where I got to see like this famous mountain where they filmed, and I got to do some neat stuff. It was a blast. I'm more of like a, you know, 90s cartoons guy or something like that. We pay in full here, guys. Telltale Games win. Favorite Final Fantasy game? Oh, what a tough one. My favorite Final Fantasy game is Tactics. I know that's a shitty answer because it's not considered canon or part of the course. Other than that, I got to go 6. 6 and 9 for me. Lol, 69. I got it. But those two are my favorite, though 7 is undeniably fantastic. But these are tough. I also liked Final Fantasy 11. I got that shit on day one on PC, and I was like talking to NPCs with like I was like typing to them, like it, you know, I was like, "Hello, my name is Victor," and they were just. I was like, "Dude, they don't talk back. What the fuck?" But if you click them, they say shit. Yeah, I was like 17. I still didn't know how MMOs worked. It was so different back then, Final Fantasy 11, because half of the community was Japanese and half was English speaking. It was awesome. It was super kick-ass. But I like all the Final Fantasies. I like all RPGs. Suikoden, Suikon D's nuts, whatever you want to say on the jokes. I get it. Those are my favorite two RPGs, Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2. And Marvel or DC, you know, I used to be a big comics guy. I've kind of waned. I paid the cultural price for you guys to enjoy Infinity Gauntlet. I remember when I was a kid, I would be reading all these things and I'd be reading comics and they'd be like, "Hey, loser!" And I'd turn around because I know they're talking to me. And they'd be like, "Comics are for dorks!" And then 20 years later, "Oh, hey, what's up, Mouse? We're done."
Hello.
Hey, thanks.
Comics are not for dorks.
I don't know how your chat is such an incredible mix of it's so fast and they're so supportive.
Yeah.
How do you read this?
I don't know. I feel like after a while you just learn how to keep up. It depends. I'm a little bit selective sometimes because occasionally you'll get somebody who's like not so nice.
Yeah, I read one of those on accident. I didn't know.
Oh,
They said they wanted to eat me. I didn't. It was my second read comment, but it had my name in it, and so I thought they were gonna say something like, "Hey, Pete, how are you?" And they were like, "It was not what I wanted." But I put chat back away. I'm sorry, I hid you guys. But that was an exciting 5 minutes where I really learned a lot.
Yay! I'm glad you enjoyed your alone time with my chat.
It was awesome, yeah. But welcome back.
Thank you. People are asking you to eat them now.
No. What have I done? What have I done?
It's not you.
I put them away. I've hidden them once again.
It's not you. I always make a joke that I eat people. I think I'm just rubbing off on them.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better because it was a request. I think they wanted to eat me, and then I feel like no, you don't. I'm not healthy.
Well, now they want you to eat them.
All right, now we're talking. Let's go.
Oh,
so
God. You're into that vor, huh?
I'm not into buffets though. There's just too many people here, so I'll have to pass this time. But we had a nice chit chat. I learned an awful lot about them. They had some amazing things to say about you, of
About
which
me?
I said they were all wrong. No, I didn't. I agreed with them, but don't worry about it.
Wait, what was it?
No. Honestly, they were all. It was very warm, very positive, very supportive. And then I saw 6 guys say, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I was like, I banned them. Don't worry, they're gone now. They're banned forever. I banned them on my channel too.
Yeah, ban them good.
It's a secret between chat and I about what we said. So yeah,
Okay, keep your secrets, okay?
yes, definitely.
Now people are spamming 4 big guys. Stop! No, not 4 big guys, please. Have you heard the 4 big guys song?
No, I the last new song I heard was from 2003.
Wait, what song was that?
It was when I was working for the radio station. I think it was like "Cry Me a River" by Justin Timberlake or something. But I am not a music man. I am very much, but I will start listening to it. I like listening to like music streams, like when Aethel does that stuff. I
Yeah.
like hearing that.
Oh yeah, I like his music creation streams.
Definitely, but I've already put in 4 big guys on my search engine. I got some questionable results. I think I need to narrow the search down.
Oh no!
But I will find it. I will find it, and then I'll give my feedback.
You know what? You'll hear it if you join the Minecraft server.
I will definitely be. I'll be looking for it. A lot of these links are already purple. What have I been watching? No, I'm kidding. But I will check that out very soon.
Oh yeah, they want you to know about Boof Pack.
I don't want to know about that. Just the sound of that word sounds like someone who shot me in Rainbow Six. Boof Pack, I think I'll pass.
That's a song that Aethel wrote.
All right, I'll listen. Yeah, you guys are really. Can I? Like, this is a tough one, right? I remember the social pressure of your friend recommending something to you. Mouse, you have to see this. Look at it. Now you feel this immediate pressure to like it as much as they did. You know what I mean?
Oh god, I know. Connor's doing that with the cyberpunk edge runner thing with me.
Edge runners.
He
it's
keeps
so
trying
hard.
to force me to watch it, and I'm like, I will, but I can't now. But I will.
And so when somebody says, "Bro, you have to listen to Boof Pack," I want to because it's Aethel, but at the same time, I know they're excited about 4 big guys in Boof Pack and all these things. But now I feel like I need to wait a little bit so that I can match their excitement because now the pressure's too high. You know what I mean?
They just wanted you to hear filthy songs with filthy lyrics because they think it's funny.
I think I'm down. If Aethel's in, I'll follow suit. So I'll definitely give it a listen.
Oh yeah, Aethel's song is very unique. It's a very emotionally intriguing song.
Okay, it's with a title like Boof Pack, I have high expectations. So I'm looking forward to it.
Let me see if I can find the lyrics.
All right. No. Part of the fun of music for me is actually my favorite part is listening to the track over and over and finding like the lyrics out.
Oh, okay. I won't spoil it for you then.
Okay. I am very much looking for a song that will change my life. So I am ready. So thank you.
Good, I'm glad. Your life is about to be turned upside down.
Oh boy.
I have questions for you. Would you like to answer some of them?
I am ready. Rapid fire. Let's go. I'm looking forward to this. Let's see what we got.
Now people are writing sit pissers. No, he's not gonna listen to sit pissers.
Let me add that to the list. Sit Pissers is
That's
along with
also by
the
Lord
4 big guys.
Eggleston.
At this point, I'm starting to question your chat's judgment, but that's fine. That's 3 for 3.
Listen, chat is chat, and they're gonna be chat for the rest of their lives.
Oh well, hey, maybe I'll be joining them soon. So
And chat is weird.
all right, that's okay. That's all right. I'm cool with it. They gave me some good music to listen to. All right, let's knock out some questions. I'm ready. I am locked and loaded.
Ah, yes. Here, they're on a fancy little picture. Hold on, let me move a little bit.
Whoa, that's sick.
Yeah, look, I'm very official, very professional. First question.
My room is too big.
No, it's fine. Your room is the perfect size.
Okay.
As someone with a loud voice in a country where you have to be as quiet as possible, do you have any funny stories involving your voice volume? Also, any tips on how to control it while in Japan?
So I have had two bad experiences with the thing is, and I think you might actually have this trouble too if you were to travel here. When you have a theater training, we are taught to use as much breath as possible
True.
to articulate and fill out a room. This has been great when I teach in the classroom, but I remember when I was teaching, and I'll give you an example of a loud and a small voice that I screwed up. I used to teach at the end of the hall, door shut, all that stuff. And I did this lesson that I really wanted them to learn about English expression. And I taught the lesson. I felt it went really well. And when I walked out of class after the bell, every single other class was all waiting outside, and they all clapped their hands sarcastically because I had ruined every lesson in the hallway because they all heard me extremely clearly.
Oh my God.
And that is troubling. And when Japanese kids are sarcastically clapping at you, you've really, really up. Like that. And I think the worst time this has ever happened, and this is something I will regret until the day that I die. I will never be more embarrassed in my life. I felt so bad. It was my first week in Japan. I was traveling as a 22-year-old back in like the day, and I got on this train, and it was like my third train ride ever. And it was one of those ones where they're pushing everybody in. Like you have no place to move. I knew like 3 words. I knew like sumimasen, konnichiwa, and gomen nasai. That was like the 3 words I knew, which is like, excuse me, hello, and I'm sorry. And I didn't know how to turn or what to do. And I ended up getting like full body pressed up against this wall. And I had nowhere to put my hands. So I'm just like I'd committed some crime. And I remember this poor woman got pushed into me like really hard. We couldn't move. And her head was like right here. And I wanted to, I'm so stupid. I felt bad about the situation and I thought I had made a mistake. So I whispered into her ear, I went, "Gomen nasai," which is, it's without a doubt, like the absolute worst thing you could possibly do is a bizarro creeper. And I felt her get like legitimately tighten up. And as the next stop, I was like, I gotta go, even though I was like an hour away from my stop. And I went and just sat down and I felt like, you idiot, you tried to do the right thing and all you looked like was bizarro big pee man, you know? And awful. But controlling the voice is a big part of living in Japan. And it's one of the reasons I personally don't enjoy IRL streaming by myself, is that I feel my voice is too loud and that it often invades other people's privacy, especially culturally. Whereas Connor and Chris do a really nice job of keeping it at a nice tame level. So those are the 2 awkward stories that I've had with my voice, but I definitely, anywhere I go in this country, my voice betrays me as it's far too loud. Far too loud.
Don't worry. I also am a loud talker. I'm very loud. And I don't know how to keep
How do you control it then? Like, have you ever, because I've got the noise threshold set on this thing to like, I'm louder than a train, but how do you manage to go through those different levels of volume?
I don't. I'm always loud.
Me too. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I live on the second floor of an apartment. I'm not embarrassed by that, but the people above me, the people next to me, and the people below me all moved out after I started streaming.
Oh God.
And I feel so, and I remember I was streaming once, and my wife had come home, and she was down the street, and she came in and she said, "Ha, I can hear you down the street. Everyone hears you." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh no.
Okay. And I'd
I
rather
worry.
not know. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather not know.
I understand. I worry too because it's like I'm very loud. One time somebody came into my stream and they were like, "Oh, your voice is so grating and annoying." So I just screamed into the microphone really loud. I was like, "Really?" And so annoying. Ah! And everybody's like,
That's how
"Mouse,
you
what
deal
the
with it.
fuck? Why are you doing that?"
Oh.
And then I think about these times and I'm like, man, when I move to my new place, what am I gonna do? Because I have neighbors and I'm worried.
You know, I think I asked Connor that, and because his is a different problem. His voice is so deep that it shakes through the walls and it goes down and stuff. You know, he gave me some recommendation of soundproofing it, and in Japan, it's unheard of, right? I went to a place, US dollars. This is not what Connor did. He gave me a better alternative. But if I was to professionally install a soundproofing room in Japan, how much would you guess that costs for a room this size? And just to give you some context, this is the whole room. I'll give you the tour. We're done.
At least
So-
1,000.
$1,000, right? You think so?
Yeah.
For this size room, we're talking. It was $40,000.
You're shitting me. What the fuck?
That's Japan for you. That is Japan. $40,000. And I had to tell them like, no, I will. So, but Connor was like, you know, as we have discussed, he was like,
"No, man, I've got this great thing. Just put it up on your wall and I'll help you build it. It'll be great. Just buy me a pizza."
I was like, okay, thanks, man. And so we're going to do his route because he soundproofed his by himself, and it is significantly more affordable. But like, damn, $40,000.
Yeah, he was looking into it for me too, cause I have to soundproof my room, and he was like, I could just tell you what to get, and you could do it. And I'm like, I'm gonna call my brother and beg him and offer him dinner or something, so they can come and install it in my house.
You know, but you could put a little recording area too for your music? That would be sick.
Yes, I could actually. I actually have
That's-
a plan to do that, so I'm excited.
I can't wait to hear your sequel to, let me look at this track, Sit Pissers and Boof Pack and Four Big Guys. But I think you need a studio so you can start recording some awesome music. Because I've heard you sing and you're very, very good.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Looking
Thank you
forward
very
to that.
much. I hope so. I'm looking forward to it too. I really want to. I want to try my hand at voice acting too.
Me too. Let's do it. Let's make a promise that this year, 2023, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, I promise.
Me too. I will try. I've been always wanting to do that. So we're gonna have our little. That's gonna be our resolution. We're gonna make it happen.
That's going on the vision board.
That is on the vision board.
Next question.
All right, next question. Let's hear it.
What do you miss the most about living in North America?
Oh, well, you know, obviously the food is a big draw, and I would be remiss not to say, of course, my family and friends. But honestly, not much. I'm not a North America kind of guy, and I left for a reason. And the cultural problems that are in America are not well suited to how I like to live. Like, I don't like the car society. I don't like how spread out everything is.
Yeah.
I like being in a city, and I like cleanliness, and I like safety. So for me, Japan was a good alternative. But I definitely do miss sometimes when it's you know, having a friend visit or being able to have a big space or my own room or going out. I used to be a delivery man for Pizza Hut or something like that, but being on the open roads and driving around, sure, those are appealing. But for me, I think it's one of the rare times that when I go back to America, the first thing I think of is I can't wait to go back home, which for me is right here in Tokyo.
Oh, that's sweet.
If I'm not mistaken, you did live in Puerto Rico though for quite some time, right?
Yes.
And do you still live there now or have you relocated?
I live in hell right now.
Well, from hell to Puerto Rico, do you miss anything about besides the breads and the food? Is there anything you miss about Puerto Rico?
I feel like there's more nature around, and it's like it's more people are more friendly, and they're more open to helping you out, because when you live in a small like village or town, like everybody is willing to help, and everybody is you know all up in your business. But that could be
I
a
love that
blessing and
you
a
compared
curse.
you compared hell to Puerto Rico, and you're like, well, there's nature compared to fire and brimstone, and people are nice, except for the eternally damned.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's
No, but
rough
I
out
I
here.
totally get that. So the small town vibe. So I was also from a small town when I was growing up. So those kind of things are hard to replace, especially in like Tokyo or wherever you end up if it's bigger, but
It's
not much.
interesting.
Certainly. But I
Yeah.
don't miss much about North America, which sounds scummy, and it is a beautiful country though. I think that America has, if I'm being totally honest, it's the most beautiful country on earth in terms of like awesome biomes. You've got mountains and deserts and beaches and grasslands, and there's so many beautiful places that you could go with one car. But I didn't get to take advantage of that as much as I wish I could have.
I feel like some people just vibe with certain areas. And that doesn't, it's not
Definitely.
anything bad. You just didn't vibe with the North America vibe.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not me.
Also, you said biome, and I immediately thought of Minecraft.
Yeah, I think I learned that word from Minecraft. So there you go.
Yeah! I don't know. I think I've been to a few places in North America, and it's pretty unique. A little scary though, cause I feel like people sometimes when, unfortunately, I've been to areas where it's like if you look a certain way, they're not, they look at you funny.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, but I've also been in places in Japan where that happens. So
Yeah, I heard that that's also an issue over there.
it can be. Yeah, my first year I was in Niigata, which is on the west coast of Japan, and I remember there was maybe a dozen of us foreigners there, and I the school I taught at was a 45-minute drive up into the mountains, and I remember there was 31 students total in an elementary school. So one first grader, 4 or 5 second graders, and you're like, wow, this is very rural. It's really different than, what I was expecting when I moved here.
Is it different? Like, let's say, as opposed to a non. Okay, let's say a Puerto Rican girl were to walk around over there. Would they look at them funny?
Well, I can't speak for all of them, but I think that if you were in that situation I was in, they would definitely be interested in wondering. The school I was taught at was so isolated that it might be the first time that they've ever met someone from Puerto Rico, or had a handful of experiences with multicultural people at that age. So you really might get some different looks, but also 10 years ago from Japan has changed a lot, and I know that it did kind of have like a lot more visitors come, but I've been into bars where I walk in and they're like, no, get out, not you. And you're like, all right, well.
Yeah, I've had a few friends of mine go to Japan to teach English, and to just some just wanted to leave and wanted to go there because they love anime. They're like, I want to move to Japan. I love anime. So they run off to move to Japan. And then I speak to them a while later, and it's not the same experience that they thought it was going to be. And they had gone to, some of them have gone to like smaller areas where it's more rural, and it's like it's culture shock for a lot of them when they move in. It's like a very different.
Yeah. It's sometimes you gotta set your expectations. I would honestly recommend anybody who wants to move to Japan because they like the culture that they see in various forms of media, definitely visit first and take off the tourism goggles for just a few days and try to put yourselves in the shoes of a working class person. Because some of the things that I don't like about America, you might not like about the day-to-day culture in Japan, and be like, all right, fuck this, I want to go back home.
Yeah, I mean, some people in chat said it happens everywhere, even in Puerto Rico. Like, if you get somebody that's not from there, and you go to like a small, rural place in Puerto Rico, they're like, "What are you doing here? Where did you come
But
from?"
I believe that we can make friends with anybody. So
Yeah!
that's our special power.
It's true. The
At least
internet
I hope
helps.
that's true. It certainly does. And if you're quick with a smile, or if you can sing well, you'll make friends in any country.
Yeah, or if you have a cute voice.
That also helps. So I'm one of three. I don't, but like it really does. Just put yourself out there, and anywhere you go, I think you'll be able to meet some kick-ass people. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I believe you.
But yeah, not much I miss about the old North America, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's rough out here.
It is rough out there, but I respect it.
It's hard out here in the streets.
It is. I'm in my little safe box with my cat.
I'm also in the safe box.
Yeah, maybe we're not qualified to answer this
I
question.
think so. I think we shouldn't be allowed. At least me, I shouldn't be allowed to answer this question.
Well, it's been a decade for me too, so I'm out as well. We're both out.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Old man glasses are equipped.
Oh, what's your next step/goal to your content creation?
Well, we just touched on it. You know, I believe 100%, 22% that 2023 I will have a voice acting job in a video game in some capacity. That's my dream. So it's kind of a content creation is a scary word for me, because as I just got into this happenstance at such an old age, it moves really fast. Everybody's doing all of these crazy things, and I'm still getting caught up with like, how do I tweet, and what is happening? And for me, it's harder to pick these things up, but I have a certain skill set that I think I can still get better at, and I want to. But for me, it's going to go back to acting, going back to performance, and hopefully continue collabing with the people that I genuinely have a real connection with. You know,
Yeah.
Connor and Chris especially. Chris has been there for me from the beginning, and I've met so many amazing people while I've been streaming, including yourself, that it's cultivating those friendships more than it is those content is more important to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. I'm the same way. I always put like friendship and like whether or not I vibe with people above content creation. It's why sometimes me and Connor fight. Because he gets content brain a lot, and to him, it's all about the content. And I'm like, to me, it's all about hanging out and having fun. And content comes second to hanging out and having fun. And to him, it's the other way around. So we oftentimes butt heads because of that. And I think we've gotten into an argument on stream like once or twice because of it. It's so funny.
See, it's exactly like you mentioned, and it's hard for me to turn on the content brain part. And the last thing I always want, that I'm afraid of, is that anybody anywhere would think that my association with them is predicated on something other than I want to have a real genuine thing, you know? Especially at 39, maybe if I was in my 20s, I'm honest enough to admit, maybe there would have been that aspect of, some desire to grow or some desire to get mine. But listen, after working the jobs I've had for 20 years, if I can make enough that I was making teaching, that's still enough for me. And I say that with complete sincerity. And I'm not going to be rocking up with any new cool clothing. I've got these shirts, these Henleys. That's all I'm going to be rocking. And I think that that was a necessary part of my evolution as a person, that I'm so satisfied with the friends that are more important to me than the opportunities that come from them. So I'm glad that, there are other people out there that we feel the same way. It makes me feel good.
As I always say, I'm just happy to be here, man.
You have no idea how much I agree with that. That it is extremely. I cannot believe, I never would have expected this would be this show or even my streaming opportunities ever.
I understand. I feel the same way, like, with my life in general, because, like, given the circumstances of everything that I've been through, I shouldn't even be here streaming at all right now. And it's just every day that I wake up and I am aware that this is what I do, I'm like, holy shit, I cannot believe that this is my life. What the fuck?
It's very humbling. It's an interesting perspective. And it's funny to me as someone who's quite old in this field, I know I'm not an old man.
You're
but
not an old man!
I know. I promise I know that. But I'll go out to dinner with people who are in their mid-20s and they're struggling to think about, content or how can I pop off. And it's interesting because I didn't even start doing what they were doing until like 12 or 13 years older than they are now. And I think to myself, wow, it's crazy. I had all these experiences and time to learn what makes, important to me. And that's so crazy that they still have a decade or more to figure this all out. And there's no timeline, there's no rush, there's no urgency. Just go at your own pace and it'll happen eventually if it happens.
Yeah, but you know that back, growing up, it's like everything is urgent all the time because you feel like.
Yeah. No, I know. It's a crazy. That's why I'm glad that the same thing happened with acting in America. There was all these expectations, to be successful or to be famous or to get your shot. And that kind of culture rubbed me the wrong way. And it's why I left LA and why I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, you know what? Japan's my speed. I can blend into the back and I can find my own path eventually, and we'll see how it shakes out. And finally it did, and I'm so happy for it. So yeah.
Yeah, I had a bit of a similar issue because, like, I grew up, like, in performing arts and I was always singing. And it's like when you're in the performing arts or like in entertainment, it's always very competitive. It's always a struggle.
Yeah.
You're always getting judged. You're always getting critiqued. And it's like, I remember I told my stream, I was talking about it on stream, and I told chat, I was like, yeah, back in the day when I was in school, every so often, like, sometimes, I think one year it was like every week, and then another year it was like every 2 weeks. I would have to, like, perform for my teachers, and then it was like, you would do a performance, and then they would critique you and judge you, and everything on the paper was all just negative shit. It was all, like, talking about how garbage you are, how bad you were at everything, and it's like, they really drill it into your brain that you're garbage, and that you suck, and then you're forced to compete against, like, all these other students that are in your class. And I hated that environment so much. It was so toxic to my brain that I totally try to stay away from competition as much as possible. And it almost made me, like, fall out of love with, like, performing because I just hated that shit. I didn't like that sort of pressure, and I hated the fact that my teachers would come up with, like, creative ways to say how bad I suck balls. And I'm like, damn. And it's like that everywhere. I took ballet. It was nothing but negative comments like, oh my god, your leg is not straight, da 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 da, this is bad, you're horrible, why are you even dancing? And then the singing, why are you even singing? Then you play an instrument, why are you even playing an instrument? And then you start to, like, think about all that shit, and now it's just like, I'm just happy to be here, man.
Yeah,
I don't ever want to go
definitely.
back to that shit ever again.
That's unfortunate. I think that there's real good value in getting criticism when it's
Yes.
constructive and,
Yes.
and it's helpful to improve. And I had similar things in high school, but I was very lucky that when I went to college, I was told very bluntly that it's okay to acknowledge that there's always going to be someone more motivated or better looking or more talented. That does not mean that I don't have certain aspects where I would be perfect for this job or that. But you have to be aware that there are other really amazingly talented streamers or performers or voice actors, but that doesn't mean that I'm not. And that was a tough thing to balance. And it sucks that when you just get, well, your footwork was poor and your voice is horrible, and why can't you be more like art, this or that? Yeah, that's some real toxic shit. And I would say, yeah, well, you know what? You. And then I'd go home and not be happy for a while.
Oh,
So
God.
props to you for getting over that horrible teaching.
It was bad. Oh my God. I ran into an old professor of mine a long time ago, like after school, because I had to drop out of school because of my health. And I
Huh.
ran into another professor years down the line, and they were like studying. They were like at a bench with tons of books in front of them, and I'm like, oh my God, Professor da da da. I can't believe him. Hey, do you remember me? They're like, oh my God, Ironmouse. Holy shit, how have you been? Da da da. And then I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I went back to school. And I'm like, oh, well, why? And they were like, listen to me. They they got up in front of me. They're like, you have to listen to me. Don't
They're
waste
like,
your
"Listen
fucking
to me."
time. Don't waste your time with performing arts. Don't waste your time with music. Don't waste your time with that shit. You're gonna get nowhere. You're gonna end up becoming a waiter or a waitress or whatever, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna it's a total waste of time. And I'm like, holy shit, what happened to you, man?
Yeah, that's bad. That is some real bad experiences. That's brutal. I'm very. I had an acting coach and in college, and he's a great guy, Scott. And I was telling him I started doing this Twitch thing. He was like, "Yeah, right on. I thought you like gave up acting, dude." And I was like, "No. It's just been 10 years." And he watched. I did these early YouTube videos on my channel where I was trying things out. And I was like doing some top 5 games of the week that's come out. I was trying new things, and he watched it and he was like, "Yeah, okay, I made it through like 30 fucking seconds. Who's that douchebag talking?" And I was like, "No, that was me." And he was like, "No, I know it's you, dumbass. I saw you, but that's not you. You're not authentic. What are you trying to do here?" And he reminded me in a constructive way. He was like, "You're trying too hard to be someone you're not. And the more authentic you return to yourself, your stuff will be better." And that had me re-examine my stream and my YouTube stuff. And I was like, damn, he's right. I'm way too up here, and I'm not enough just being who I am. And that's an easy trap to fall into. So I'm really glad that I had good teachers who were able to ground me even a decade or more after I graduated. So big shout to Scott for bailing me
Yeah.
out.
Big
Good
shout
guy.
out.
I think he's doesn't know what Twitch is. He's like, "Is that like Vine?" And I was like, "No,
Oh, God.
dude." It's-
That's dead.
yeah, but yeah. Yeah, interesting. What an interesting question from we started what's the next step or goal, and we ended up saying to, fuck you, teachers.
Yeah, fuck you, teachers.
But that is quite the interesting story. But I am already booking it. 2023 or maybe 24, there's no rush on it. We will do our voice acting. Book it. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, I believe.
Done and dusted. We are locked in.
I believe. I have high hopes and faith. Next question.
Next question. Let's go.
Oh, hello from Sweden here. This is for
Ooh.
everyone. When you feel
Oh.
frustrated, what do you do to get rid of that feeling of frustration? And for Mouse, please grow strong and healthy.
You want me to get old and decrepit?
No, you also grow strong and healthy too.
I am strong and healthy. No, that is a great comment, and we do want you to get strong and healthy. Do you want to go first? I'm curious. When you feel frustrated, what does the legendary Ironmouse do to get rid of that feeling of frustration?
Oh my God. So I sing.
Like full on power ballads, like you're letting it all out?
I sing, I stream, and I play Minecraft. Those are the three things.
What?
Those are my
Sing,
three
stream, Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's no secret. I feel like I can be open. I tell people I'm not. I think I am not right. I'm not normal. I'm mentally ill. Okay, because if I could
Okay.
stream every day, every hour of the day, and never stop streaming, I would.
Wow, that is an impressive feat.
I love streaming. It is my happy place. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when they stream, they get stressed out. But for me, streaming is my escape from my life. And I forget all about all the bullshit that I'm going through and all the bullshit that I've been through. And it's my happy place. And I just wish I could be there all the time.
That's awesome. So streaming, singing, Minecraft, sometimes all three at once.
Sometimes all three at once. It's true. I've done all three at once one time.
That's actually very interesting. I guess streaming for me is not so much a release, though it does bring me significant happiness. But I think it's sometimes it's easy to think that, oh, you're so positive, Pete. You're always so happy. But of course, I'm a human being, and I'm depressed or have imposter syndrome or frustrations or setbacks. I don't know. I've always been able. I think the most important thing for me is I've always had a willingness to laugh at myself and my own misfortunes, because I can't take myself too seriously, and if I did, those setbacks would hurt a lot more. I just kind of imagine that there's literally nobody who doesn't have bad shit happen to them. It happens to all of us, maybe on different levels. Maybe some people's experience of a bad situation is their car got scratched, or they failed a class, or maybe it's a bad breakup, or perhaps it's a medical setback, or even it could be something simple like you had a bad day at work because your coworkers didn't respect you. But for me, I just try to remind myself that I really do have people in my life that I know can cheer me up. I could reach out to them, and then it's okay just to laugh at myself and be like, you know what, that was a bad day. That was a really bad day. That was 10 bad days in a row. But I do think that I've had a lot of good days too, and I've had a lot of good moments peppered into that bad shit. And I can make that happen. I can work with that. And I try to drop it all at the door and stuff. When I've had a bad day at work, I walk home instead of take the bus, or something like that. Take a bath. It's tough. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. Sometimes singing and Minecraft and streaming don't solve that frustration, but little by little you can chip away at it. And it's just normal.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do. I just remember that it's I'm a big dork, and I can laugh at that, and it's okay.
It's okay to be a big dork.
It is. It's okay to have shitty things happen, like our appendix bursting or getting removed, or you do bad, stupid El Cantare jobs, or you get killed by Hymen Destroyer. All that shit happens. It all happens. It all happens to all of us. It's just different.
That's true.
Yep.
Next question.
I'm ready. This is gonna be a good one.
Whoa, hello, Pete. We all know you as the man with 1,000 stories. What story do you enjoy telling, no matter how many people you tell it to?
Oh, it's fun. I don't usually have a Rolodex of stories that I'm willing to just. It has to happen organically, but I feel like the story of the Wiggy Waggy always is something that I'll never ever truly forget. If we're going for a teaching experience. Or I also think one of my very first dates I went on with a girl in high school was one of the most horrific experiences that I can remember. And I'll let you choose, Mouse. Is there any one of those two that you would rather hear?
Oh man, I'm so on the fence. I want to know both.
Okay.
But I'll
well,
pick
if you've got time, I
got time. If you don't feel like the same both, the date one. But if you feel like saying both.
All right, we'll see. We'll tell the date one first, and then we'll go with if we want to follow it. And some of these don't have big payoffs or big things. I just find them amusing to retell. I was in high school, and I'd met this girl and I really liked her. She played Juliet and I played guard number 3. But we went on a date together after I had graduated. So she was a senior and I was a freshman in college. And I'd gotten my car and I was so excited to be like, oh baby, it's drive time. But my car was like an Oldsmobile, it's just awful thing. So I begged my mom if I could borrow her new Ford Focus. And I was like, because I wanted to look cool, look good, feel good, play good, pay good. That's the motto.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, sure, just have a good night. And I was working at the radio station and I was on the morning zoo show and they needed a celebrity judge. Celebrity is in massive quotations. And I was able to go because the main host couldn't make it. So I had 2 tickets to the improv show and I get to roll in with my Focus. I've got my cool clothes on that I think look good. And before I left, my cousin was living with me at the time. His name is Justin. And he says, hey, dude, are you going out tonight? And I was like, yeah, first date. And he goes, well, little man, you might need one of these. And I was like, I don't need, it was a prophylactic or a condom. And I said, all right, thanks, buddy. And I put it in my pocket and I was like, well, you idiot. And he was like, you never know. And I was like, okay. And we go to the improv place and I drive there and she's like, slick wheels, thank you. And during the performance of the improv, they said, we have a celebrity judge from, Z95.7, today's hit music. And I was like, hey, it's me, what's up? And they were like, do you want to come up on the stage and do a little joke? And I nailed it. I absolutely nailed it. It was amazing. And I felt pretty good. The whole place was coming up afterwards, shaking my hand. And then it was great. I felt good. We go outside. It was freezing cold. I gave her my jacket. She's bundled up. We're having fun. I take her to the Olive Garden. Come on, I'm a working man.
Wow.
Endless breadsticks, all that stuff. I pick up the bill. It's getting on to be around 10. And I feel like, we get in the car and we're driving her home. And I look over at her and she looks beautiful. She's radiant. And I say, well, we could, I could take you home, or we could drive around for a while. And she was like, yeah, let's drive around. And I was doing the cool thing where I had the hand on the wheel and I had the wheel's not up there. I don't know why I grabbed that. It was like, the normal spot. And I had my other hand on the gear shifter. This is not a manual car. It's automatic. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And, but it looked cool. And she put her hand on top of mine. I don't know what happened. I hit that gas and then I immediately T-boned somebody who was coming from the opposite direction. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And hopefully no one was hurt. The only thing that really hurt was my bruised ego. And I remember after they went spinning and then I was driving through someone's yard and I think I hit their Christmas deer. And then she was like, stop the car. And I was like, yeah, okay. Whoa, Bubby. I turn around. I had T-boned some girl's Mustang or something awful sports car. And I had completely totaled my mom's car. Now, no, I wasn't going fast. I was at a stop sign and she was going pretty slow to go at a 4-way stop. So it wasn't like a bang, bang, massive collision. It was just enough damage for me to ruin both cars. And I remember this was kind of before cell phones, really. It was the early time of that. So we called her mom and her mom was like, are you guys okay? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And then she was like, okay, I'm on my way. So we wait for 45 minutes outside and we're just kind of hanging out. And her mom never shows up and they call each other on the cell phone or whatever. And her mom's car had died on the freeway. The battery went out or something. So I have to call my cousin who comes and picks us up. And so he has this stupid truck and he had some stuffed deer in the front seat or something from hunting. So we're all squeezed in the back and I'm in the middle and her mom is on the left and she's on the right. And I remember he was driving and it's 12:30 at night. And his eyes are in the rear view mirror, looking back at me and he's smiling. And he goes, "Yeah, I guess you didn't need the thing I gave you, huh, buddy?" And I was like, no." And he was like, "Yeah, I can't imagine that's going to be useful." And he was like, and then the girl I was with, she was like, "What is he talking about?" I was like, "Nothing." And then she was feeling like around the coat, and then she felt the condom in like the breast pocket, and I swear when she pulled it out, you could freeze frame that moment of me stuck in the middle and her mom being shocked and her holding it and him laughing. And I wish it ended there. Like that's where the credits would stop, and it would be like wah 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 wah. And I remember we all ended up, luckily, having a good laugh once he explained that situation. And we were able to get everybody home, and my mom gave me a big hug, and she said, "It's not about the new car." Well, it's a little bit. That was, you idiot, but I love you, and everyone's healthy. And it was definitely a moment where I knew there's never going to be a worse date than that situation, where it started so good, it started too good, and it ended in absolute tragedy.
Oh
But
my
see,
God.
that's the kind of story I do enjoy telling, because it reminds me a lot of that era of my life.
Oh my God. I'm
So, yeah.
speechless.
Well, I don't know. I feel like like I said, some of them don't have those big payoffs, but I feel like it's more about the journey than the destination.
Whoa. That was a 10 out of 10 story.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now
If
tell the
you're
other one.
interested, I could. Do you want to hear the other one?
Yeah.
All right. So the other one is a little bit different. It was when I was teaching English in Japan. It was my second year, and I was teaching this class called Oyako. And Oyako means with child. So there's a famous dish that you can eat in Japan called oyakodon, which is kind of disturbing. It's like a chicken breast and then also a cracked egg on top. So it's like mother with child
Oh
bowl.
dear.
It's
Yes.
a weird, yeah, it's a Japanese thing. But the thing was, this was with the parent and the very young child who didn't speak yet. So the child would be like 0 to 2 years old, or starting to develop. So you could do like two different experiences together. Like mom learns a little English, or dad learns a little English, kid learns something. And we go to the meeting, and it's usually this really wonderful woman and her son. But that day, the mother couldn't make it. And so it was the dad, who I'd never talked to before. And it's just me, dad, and kid. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the class." And he was like, very shy. He did not want to be there. It was obviously something like, mom was busy, and we're paying a lot of money for this shitty class. Please go. And the dad was like, "Hello." And I was like, "All right, well, we're going to do a little class today. And your kid's like a year old, so it's going to be really basic. We're just going to play with some blocks and stuff." So we play. He's starting to warm up a bit, but he's kind of not engaging. And I said, "All right, well, the next planned activity is Wiggy Waggy. It's a special little song and dance that we do together." And he was like, "Okay." And I remember I had my, I'll grab the turtle. There we go. I'll grab this turtle. So I have like a little fake human. This is not it, but I would say, "All right, so first we got to do, I'll go first, then you go. Wiggy waggy, jelly in the bowl." And then you shake the baby a little bit. And the guy was like, didn't try. He was like, wiggy waggy, jelly in the bowl. And I was like, "No, we got 40 minutes left, dude. That ain't going to cut it." I was like, we got to use our expression. So why don't we try it again? And he was like, "Okay." And I did a bigger one. I was like, wiggy waggy, jelly in the bowl. And he was like, a little bit better. But I figure third time's the charm. Why not go for broke? And I said, wiggy waggy, and then put the kid up and go, jelly in the bowl. And he's like, "Okay, let's do it. Let's have some fun." And he said, wiggy waggy, jelly in the, and then the kid shit all over his face. Like liquid shit straight down, all over his hair, all over his eyes and dripping off of his nose. And I remember him holding the baby, and the baby's smile was so organic and so happy. And he had shit all over himself, all over his new clothes. And I remember, never forget, watching the poop drop from the tip of his nose. and I said, are you okay? And he was not okay. And I guess he did not decide to put a diaper like on the kid that day. Like they were trying to, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. And we helped clean the shit everywhere. And he oh man, he still had it like in his hair and like this little brown bib around his neck. And I was like, you still have 30 minutes left. And he was like, what the? He was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. And so, you know, he left immediately, and I ended up washing the floor for the next 30 minutes. But it's that experience of Wiggy Waggy that I remember for the rest of my life, and that was maybe 9 years ago. But I did let him leave, but I you know, they're paying for it, you know. I didn't know if it was like, how do I manage this situation? So there are stories like that, of which I have 9 or 10 more. Some are funny. Some are like when I got fired from the radio, it's not funny, but these are stories I enjoy reliving because they were usually awkward moments in my life that were educational. So I enjoy going back and seeing how people react. There you go. That's that story.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say. What the fuck?
He didn't either. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a tough one.
Next question.
I'm gonna put the Wiggy Waggy back.
Yeah, put the Wiggy Waggy back. Put that thing back.
There you go.
All right.
That's just another day in the life of teaching English in Japan.
Oh my god, that's horrific. What the fuck? Next question.
Yeah, there's a lot. So,
Oh,
yeah, I think, and like, you know, it's funny because what's up?
no, go ahead.
I was just saying it's funny because, you know, sometimes you forget some of those stories, and then you eventually you just remember them sometimes, or like even the one I told with Connor and Chris about we paid in full, or, you know, that whole story of my education I hadn't retold in a really long time, and you forget all those details, and as you're telling it, you're like, I remember this, I remember that, I remember all these things, and it kind of like snowballs, and it's fun to tell those. So thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it.
Of course, I love listening. As a matter of fact, look, the next question is, hey Pete, can you please share one of your stories which you have not shared on stream before?
Those are it's tough because, you know, I actually forget sometimes which stories I have told and which ones I haven't, because there's been so many. The only thing I can, this one's not a funny story, but I do think it's an interesting story. So we'll try. I may have told it on my own channel, but it's about when I worked at the radio station, and I was 18 years old, and I was taking a broadcasting class in college. And the weatherman for the one of the main stations on the radio was the teacher. And we had the main host of the morning show come in and give like a kind of like a explanation of what to expect in the business if you join radio. And I asked him, I was like, well, do you have any advice for someone trying to break in? He goes, once you get your foot in the door, never take it out. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And before he left, I said, wait, before you go, you know, I think like my foot's in the door right now. Like, how often do I get to meet somebody who's in like a radio station? He was like, all right, kid, look, why don't you come to the radio station and I'll let you sit in and you can listen to one of our morning shows and you can see what we do. All right. And I was like, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. So I went in there and it was this guy, this girl, and it was, I'll tell their names. They can off because they're, well, I don't want to spoil this story. Just Plain Dave and Shorty. And then there was the third mic. His name was Twiggy Fat Sacks.
What?
I don't know why. That's 2002 humor, I guess. And there was those three were doing the story. The whole morning show is about talking and about taking callers and about all this stupid shit. And I sat there and I listened. And at the very, very, very end, they put me on the mic and they said like, hey, what do you got to say to everybody? And I made some stupid joke and everyone kind of laughed. And I had like that 2 seconds to do something funny. I don't remember what I said. And after that, I was like, thank you so much. That was really awesome. And he goes, you know what? I kind of like having you here. Why don't you come back every Tuesday and Thursday as an intern? And you can be a part of learn how to do it. And maybe someday you can do your own like morning show or something like that. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm 18. This is amazing. And eventually we had to fire someone. So Twiggy Fat Sacks, he got moved to the afternoon show. And now they needed a third person to do every morning. And at 19 years old, I got the opportunity. So they switched me over to the third mic and I screened all the calls and I had to, deal with all of these things coming in. And it was like so sick because, my mom could be working as a dental hygienist and like hear her son on the radio, or, you could be my buddy from high school and it'd be me. Like how crazy is that at such a young age?
That's so cool.
And it's so cool, right? Like it was such a, awkward feeling because I had this email address. They called me Kramer because my hair was wild. So it's kind of like from Seinfeld. They called me Kramer. And I never got emails. I got like one, and they were like, "Can you tell me Shorty's address?" I was like, "No," like no one ever emailed me. And we had some events. It was like win a date with Kramer, and then like they took like the worst photos of me, and they were like 4 poor women like applied, and they were like, "Okay," and, whatever. It was like that kind of role. But I screened all the calls, and now it's been about a year. And they realized they needed someone older. They needed someone 21 legally to drive the van around to do location radio things. I've outlived my purpose. And honestly, I wasn't contributing as much to the show as maybe a more experienced person was. And I was focusing on college, doing my thing. And I went to the boss and I said, hey, man, I'm thinking about making this change. And he goes, you know what? That's good because I'm sorry. We appreciate what you've done, but we needed to let you go. And I was like, okay. And he's like, why don't we do about 2 more months and then we'll work out some exit. And I said, all right, that's cool, man. And then it changed every single time. And this is where it gets kind of really uncomfortable for me. Every single time I talked on the mic, he would play this sound drop. And this was offensive even back then. So I apologize to anybody. I'm not saying it from my point of view. This is what the situation was. Every time I talked, he would play this sound drop of Al Pacino from a movie, and he'd say, "You fairy, you company man," and kind of a pretty derogatory thing towards, every single time I talked. And the tenor of the show changed where they would make fun of me taking baths or me not being attractive or me not finding girlfriends. And every time that sound drop would play over and over, I got kind of uncomfortable with it. And we decided to move up my exit a month early. And I remember going there, and it was a 2-day event. And he said, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. Me and Shorty need to go to Las Vegas to see a Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera concert or something like that. And we have this gag planned where we are going to have you say that you got tired of us poking fun at you. We're ribbing you. So you told the boss, like our fake CEO, that you were upset and we're going to be suspended for the weekend. And I didn't feel comfortable with that either because I was so powerless at that age that I was like, all right, okay, yeah. And so we went on to the show and I did my part. I said, Oh, you guys, for months now, every time I talk, you play, you fairy, you company man. You've been making fun of me and my baths. Well, guess what, bozos or whatever? You guys are getting suspended because I went to the top and blah, blah, blah. That night, I kid you not, I opened up my Z95.7 email and I had about 200 or 300 emails to me, and people were so mad. They said, you know, you're pathetic and you're worthless, and these people gave you an opportunity, and then you threw it in their face, and you're just a dumb kid. It was madness. And then my mom didn't understand why my character said those things on the air, like, you know, when I was saying like these things. And I had people threatening me. People somehow called my house, and like, I decided to not go along with the gag the next day. So, and you know, I'd been doing bullshit for them, like going to get them donuts and you know, doing all this crap for years, like the low level stuff. They were paying me a little bit, but you know, I go in there and I can tell you with 100% certainty, I have never been more terrified in my entire life. My mouth was so dry that I couldn't feel anything, right? So I go into the room. They're like, okay, man, well, we're just gonna do this thing where you blow up and you say these words, and then we're gonna let you can just leave, and we'll just, you know, we're gonna get suspended. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And they're like, and then they were immediately like, fuck you. You're so pathetic. The woman was really mean. The guy was really mean. I go, I'm not gonna do this. I don't feel comfortable. I'm getting a lot of hate mail, and people are thinking like I'm some sort of a dickhead who didn't appreciate. I was like, can we just change it? Or where we say like, thank you, Pete, whatever, Kramer. We appreciate, you know, you working here for a year, but it's time to move on. It's time to go do something else. Good luck to you. And they're like, no, we need this cover because we need to be suspended. And I was like, well, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I remember the guy, Dave, took the mic and he slowly turned mine. We're not on the air. We're like off. He says he turned it all the way down with some lame power play. And he goes, I don't think I can trust you. And I was like, okay, whatever.
What the fuck?
One thing did happen, though, that gave me the courage to continue. I mentioned earlier there was an acting coach named Scott. Do you remember this?
Yes.
The guy, he saw my YouTube and said, that's not you, dude. You're not genuine. Somehow Scott, he was my coach and my teacher. He called the radio station. He didn't know I was in the room. And off the, they go to the air and they say, we got a call from Scott. And he was like, hey, yeah, just want to let you guys know, I think you're a bunch of losers. Picking on that kid who worked his ass off for you like a year. Yeah, your station sucks and the music you play is worse, but the real bozos, you know, he was like, you guys fucking suck. And they cut him immediately. And the fact that I went to him for advice the day before and he called them and had my back and like that, I was like, oh man, let's go.
Shit, what a
And then I was
Chad.
like, he is a Chad. And I was like, wow, he called them on his day off to protect me. And he didn't even know I was standing there getting like absolutely, you know, ridiculed by these professionals. And I said, yeah, you know what? Scott's right. This is stupid and I'm not doing this. And then they told me to my face, I wanted to apply to a sports radio station in Kansas City. And I had asked him for a referral. And he was like, listen, that referral, it's done. We're not going to recommend you to anywhere because you're an unprofessional person. And I was like, that's fine. Fuck it. I'm out. I'm with Scott. And the thing about that story that I wanted to share was like at 18 or 19, at first I thought, oh man, this completely ruined my career. You know, like I'll never, like these people have power. And actually that's not really the case. That's not really what it was. The reality was I was in a bad situation and I was being taken advantage of, but I needed to learn that at a remarkably young age to get to understand it. But always got to respect my man Scott for pulling it, you know, and like my mom was like, yeah, don't do that shit. And eventually I was able to be fine. And my friends who knew me knew I wasn't like that. But to me, that's one of the more crazy job experiences that I've had in my entire life.
Oh my god, that is insane. What the fuck?
There you go. That's another, not a funny story. I know that's not like a cool story, but I've never really told that on like stuff. But I hope it was still interesting. I hope it was still somewhat interesting.
Radio people.
Yeah. Radio people. There you go. It's a cutthroat business.
Radio people are weird.
Yeah,
So mean.
it is weird, but there you go.
That was a wonderful story, but those people are mean.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It was a long one, but it gets there in the end. So yeah.
Those fuckers. I'll kill them in Minecraft.
But yeah, that was like a 20-minute one. Sorry. Do we got any more questions, or is that it? Or okay,
more.
can I go to the bathroom one more time? I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Like, my door's stuck.
Oh no.
I swear. It's a cardboard box.
Oh no.
There we go.
Guys, we're holding him hostage, guys. We're still on the air. We'll wrap up in a little bit. I know it's a lot. People are just not used to streaming as long as me, even though this feels like these days I haven't streamed as long as I want to. But I'll be back tomorrow to hang out with you guys, if that's okay. I hope it's okay with yous. As long as it's okay, I'm okay. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What are we doing tomorrow? Oh yeah, tomorrow's Xbox stream. Woo! We're gonna play games with Xbox tomorrow. Yeah. Should we keep on playing Evil Within? Or another game. What's on Xbox Game Pass? I gotta check. Yeah, I will be at Anime NYC. My meet and greet is at 3, I think. I don't know. Let's see.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
Woo!
How about we do 1 or 2 more questions and then we'll call it.
I got it. Sure. Thank you.
I know I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have things to do.
It's all good. Thank you. You know what? For the last 2, we'll go with the Kansas City Pride. We'll go Beanie Gang.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Ooh,
We're going Beanie.
City.
We're going Beanie time.
Beanie time.
I did. Okay.
Okay. Where or what is your favorite place in Japan?
Where or what is my favorite place in Japan?
Yeah.
What a brutal question. Here's what I think is my answer. And now we're going to say like, oh, fake answer, loser. No. Hear me out. My favorite place is honestly probably Nakameguro, or that whole part from Nakameguro, from Jiugaoka. It's like on this one line. But my favorite thing to do is to go to a station with a friend that I've never been to before and just start exploring and going to like different parts and trying different things. A good example of what my favorite thing to do would be the last time Chris and Connor and I went out for beers. We started at one place, we ended up at 2 more, and we were playing beer pong by the end of the night. And those places cannot be replicated.
It looked like so much fun.
Other than that, Yoronjima. That's a private little island off of Kagoshima, and it has a disappearing beach, and I went there once, and I try to remember it. But yeah, I like going to different places.
What's a disappearing beach?
So it's like this sand barge. It's awesome. You go there at like 11 a.m. and you have like this beautiful white beach. And as the day goes, the tide slowly rises and it starts to disappear under your feet until you're on this one little patch. And then it's time to go and you can reset it all tomorrow.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. I went there once and I remember I stood on that thing until it was like knee-high water. And I remember looking back at like the crystal clear waters and thinking, well, that's the one time I'll get to come here. I hope it happens again. So Yoron Island was I'll never forget that awesome experience.
Oh man, that sounds like so much fun. I want to
Yeah,
see stuff
but
like that someday.
You will, I guarantee it. And I really do believe you will. I hope that you get to come to Japan at some point. And there's so many people here who I know would take care of you and show you so much cool shit.
Oh
But
man, I wish.
I would recommend anybody though, if you ever plan a trip to Japan, leave 2 or 3 days where you don't have a plan, where you just fall into something on accident. You may meet some neat people. You may have some cool experiences. That's what I've learned in 10 years here.
Well, I'll take note. Maybe one day. I hope one day I could. I would love to.
I put a Pete promise on it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is.
And if not, we can bring the backpack and show you as much as we possibly can at the very least. It's because you being there in some capacity is definitely worth it. But a Pete promise is as good as, well, we don't know yet. I don't often make promises, but I'll try to make it come true.
Yeah, Connor's taking me to Roppongi.
Oh God, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, we're doing IRL stream in Roppongi because there's a Sailor Moon museum, and I wanted to go.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's taking me to the Sailor Moon museum.
Hey, go have some fun. I'll be tuning in to watch that. There's a couple of places in Roppongi that I like to eat, but I haven't been there very much. But that's gonna be sick.
There's this one place that I really want to go to, but I don't think that they'll let him film there. It's this weird, like, surrealist art place. It has, like-
Really?
Yeah, I forgot. Does anybody remember the name of the place? What it was called? It had like all these lights inside, and it was crazy.
And it's in Roppongi for sure, or a
Oh.
different place?
Yeah, Team Lab.
Yeah, that's Team Labo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I bet you maybe, we can what do you want me to do about it, okay? I know a guy who knows a guy. Maybe I can knock some heads and we'll get you in there, okay? Maybe look, I can't make any promises, but what do we got to do, eh?
I want to see. I saw a video and I'm like, oh my god, I want to see this place.
Definitely. We will try to sneak you in. It's going to be yeah, that's a great little experience. I lost my I had this I dropped my phone in there in some weird spot and there was like 20 people and it got kicked in and I was like, "Oh fuck. I'm never going to find it in this mess of lights." And I was like grabbing like bags and I was like, "Phone?" And they're like, "Nope." And I was like, "I can't see." But it's a great spot for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's go. So Team Labo and Roppongi. All right.
Oh my god. Next question.
All right.
When will we be seeing Pete get on a bike for stream?
I'm going to tell you something. Just look. Huh? Take a look. Peak male performance. You think I need a bicycle? Yes, I do. I need a lot of bicycling. So here's the thing. I just had an appendix removed, and so I couldn't be on the bike, which is why I was in the van. But I promise, if given the chance, I will wobble, stumble, and fall my way as far as I can on a bicycle or a skateboard or rollerblades or on foot. They just got to give me the call, but I'm not a muscle man.
You'll get the call.
So It'll be interesting, but I'll try my best.
Oh my god, I need a tricycle because I don't know how to ride a bike. I never learned. I don't know how.
Hey, you know, I might need one too, I think. It's been a minute since I've ridden a bicycle. Maybe I can just ride on, if you're in the basket, I can ride on the pegs on the back and I'll just hold Connor's shoulders and then Chris can kick me off or something. But yeah, we'll figure it out.
They're strong. They can do it.
Yeah, they can do it. They just did from Hokkaido to, you know, the whole thing.
Exactly. One more question?
Let's go. Fire it up.
Hell yeah. Where would you take Ironmouse if you could show her anything?
Wow, that's a tough one. That is a great question. Well. Oh, that's a tough one. If I could take you anywhere, are we talking in Japan? Because I haven't really traveled many other places.
Yeah.
It's selfish, right? Because there are so many places that when you want to show somebody something, you always run out of time. You always don't have enough time to say like, I want to show you this, I want to go there, I want to do this. But you know, I think an important part of being getting to know someone and having a friend is listening to what they're interested in and trying to find something that you found in your travels that would best be a part of something that they would be meaningful to them. And I feel like that's not me trying to get out of the answer. I know it sounds like it, but I feel like there are some places that when you know that someone will care about it, it means more. But if I had to choose one, it would be probably the station I enjoy, which is Nakameguro. It's on this river, and there's a good barbecue place near there that I always like going to. And they have some good barbecue, some good cornbread. And then after that, there's a place called the Nakame Takyu Lounge, which is a Nakameguro table tennis lounge. And it has one table in the middle of this beautiful room, and it's like hidden away. It's like on the third floor of some apartment building. You're like, where are we going? And when you get in there, it has really awesome open seating, and different people are going to and from the table tennis table. And it's a really nice vibe. You don't need to, or ping pong if table tennis, ping pong, however you want to call it. And I think you would really enjoy not so much the game itself, but the atmosphere of that area, the river, the walking. But other than that, I would have to get to know Mousy more and hear like what places she's like, I hate rivers, I hate table tennis, and I hate barbecue. And I'm like, well, okay.
No, I love anything that's not in my room.
Well, there you go.
Anything
that was the
outside.
easiest. Then I'll take you to a convenience store. But you know, but like that kind of thing is where you get to hear, like, if it's Chris, easy. I'm taking him to my favorite yakitori place. Right?
I'm very easy to please, okay? Because there have been times where like Connor will like he'll call me and he'll be like, "Oh look, I'm going to the store," and then he'll take me for a walk around, or he'll show me the most simplest of things, or he'll send me a video of like a train ride, or he'll send me a picture of like just something random on the street, and it's just happy.
Yeah. You could walk around Tokyo every day. I do it all the time for 10 years, or it ain't really anywhere. And you'll always find something. I always find something new and something neat. And I take my little photos and I go, "Hey, honey, look at this." And she goes, "Huh, looks normal." And I was like, "Okay." But to me, it's super cool. But yeah,
everything is cool to me.
I agree. Maybe we just have that discovery kind of experience in it.
Life is exciting.
It is exciting, just like your goddamn streams. That's how I feel. So is that the end?
That is the end. But before we go, I want you to tell people about your Van Gang shirt.
You sure? I don't want this to be about
Do
something,
it!
but Okay. Uh, for those of you interested, until the end of the month, until the end of November, we do have a Van Gang shirt, and all of the profits and all of the proceeds are going to the Iron Mouse Defense Force or the Immunity Deficiency Foundation, because I felt while I was there, I didn't have a chance to actively participate in my own way. You had Connor's thing and you had Chris's thing, and then I wanted something. And luckily there's a wonderful dude named Retro Designs. He made this beautiful shirt. There it is. Look at it. It's the Van Gang. I went long sleeve, and if you want to support it, we've already raised over $600 and we still have about 20 or 12 or 13 days left. Well, we're going to send the money to the IDF, and it's our little, it's the PremierTwo community way of saying, here we go. And good luck to that. It's hard to find, but it's on my merch store. Good luck, but no pressure at all. But we just want to do that of course, for you and for all of the people who might benefit from those donations.
Thank you very much. You're too kind. Oh my God.
No, we felt as the P2 things, like where I'm at, we didn't have an opportunity to do what, you know what I'm saying though? Does that make sense? Like we wanted to have a way to pay back in full ourselves.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for being
No.
kind.
If I may be so bold, I would like to thank you for having my dumb ass on this channel for nearly 4 hours. 本当にありがとうございます。
Ah!
You are absolutely a legend. I am beyond humbled to be on this channel, and I've seen the guests who have joined here. I am so thankful that I get to join you and with a wonderful chatting experience. And everybody who was in this chat who kept us company, I just gotta say I appreciate it. I'm gonna be smiling all day.
Yay! I want to smile all day.
It's been too much fun.
I had a great time. Thank you for coming and spending time with me.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys for watching. Wiggy Waggy, be safe, and always support Iron Mouse for whatever she's doing.
Please
so see you guys
follow
soon.
Pete and always support Pete.
It's all good.
Okay.
But thank you.
Bye.